After what turned into a rough season for the Cardinals last year, a new coach and a fresh season have spirits as high as the geyser in Soda Springs. The Red and Black take the field this year under Cliff Garbett as he looks to build his legacy and bring glory to the Cardinal name. The game of football may not seem like one for the Birds, but these Cardinals are a different breed. Strong, quick, smart, and all brought together by one goal: victory. Let's find out together what can happen when birds of a feather flock together on the gridiron. Cardinal football is right here and right now on KBRV 800 The Bear and streaming live online at mylocalradio.com. Soda Springs football is brought to you live by these local sponsors:
Sanders Furniture, Reed's Plumbing and Heating, Silver Star Communications, Monsanto, and Old West Media.
Kickoff is just about 30 minutes away, so let's head out to the field where Caleb Burgraff will get you primed and ready for kickoff on your home for every play of Cardinal football. AM 800 KBRV, The Bear.
And welcome everybody out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. Soda Springs, Idaho, deep in the mountains, at least for American Falls. It is that way as it is homecoming night, and we are proud to be bringing you Soda Springs football here as they look to try and get back into the winning schedule against the American Falls Beavers. We got plenty left for you here on the pregame show, just about a half an hour away from the starting kickoff between these two squads, and we hope that you stick this through here. We'll be talking with a member of the class of 1998 from the Soda Springs Cardinals, as well as with both of the head coaches, Tony Cade of the American Falls Beavers, as well as Coach Cliff Garbett, as the Cardinals come off their bye week and hope to get back into the swing of things here at home on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of September 17th through the 23rd. We start off with Tyson Family Pack boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. Add on to that boneless beef chuck roast or London broil steaks for $3.99. If you're looking for breakfast cereals, General Mills select varieties of cereal, $2.49 each. They also have Progresso Vegetable Classic soups, 75 cents a can. That's all your specials over at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
Hi, this is John Ondrasik of Five for Fighting, here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You know, style is a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody's business. So please, plan ahead, designate before you celebrate. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
How'd I do?
You'll get better.
Tim can't wait to be a real driver. But for now, he's king of the online track thanks to Silver Star Communications high-speed internet. Reliable, consistent speeds give him the edge against players anywhere, even the other end of the couch.
Whoa.
You'll get better.
Visit silverstar.com to learn more.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
And welcome back out once again to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. Caleb Burgraff here as right now the Cardinals on the field getting warmed up and ready for tonight's contest against the American Falls Beavers as they make the trip from about an hour and a half over to the west of Soda Springs through the pass and on to the gridiron here, as it should be a great night, homecoming night for the Cardinals. And we thought what better time to break out the homecoming celebrations than by interviewing and bringing a new segment to you guys here on the pregame show, Where Are They Now? We were able to talk with a member of the class of 1998 at Soda Springs, as Jesse Aubrey, the all-conference running back for Soda Springs from that year, was able to sit down, talk with us about what he's doing now, what he learned here at Soda Springs during his time with the Cardinals, and playing with Coach Cliff Garbett, who is now the head coach of the Cardinals. That's right now on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Caleb Burgraff here on the pregame show with our Where Are They Now interview, and it is Jesse Aubrey, who is a class of 1998 from Soda Springs High School. And Jesse, first things first, thanks for taking the time to sit down and talk.
Oh, you bet. It's great to hear back from town of Soda Springs and seeing what's going on there.
Now, you graduated in the class of 1998, played a couple of different sports over at Soda Springs. What were kind of some of your memories, some of your biggest memories that you had from those years?
Probably start off with just being able to play football with Coach Garbett. He's just a great guy and inspired me a lot. Like, there's times that really I wasn't sure I even wanted to keep playing football, but I just hung in there because of the drive he has and inspired me to keep going. Other than that, just my time with a lot of the coaches there, Jim Young and Gary Peterson and Kuzavelt on the track side. I really got along good with those guys, and gambled as well, and he's still coaching with Cliff. So that was really cool when I came down to their first game a couple weekends ago.
You didn't just play football, but in football you were an all-conference running back for the team in your senior year. And then you ran track on the other side and were actually part of a couple of state championship teams. What was it like to be able to represent a school at a state championship and not just do that, but also be able to take something home?
It's a pretty good feeling. On the track side, it was great because there's so many people you get to meet and just hang out with from even other teams. So some of the biggest things was that. And then, yeah, it's just always great to bring something home from the school and see how everyone can support you and excited they get for something that, you helped accomplish with the team. And it was pretty good feeling. I enjoyed those times.
Looking after high school, you moved on, stayed in state where you went to school for your first trip to college and went to Idaho State, and you're still living over in the Pocatello area. Was there anything in your decision to stay kind of closer to home with that, enjoying this area? And what were some of the things that you do like about this area of the state? I
was never one of those kids that hated soda or wanted to get out of there real fast. I knew I wanted to stay close, and so Pocatello being as close as it is just worked out, fit perfectly. So I just ended up with getting a couple roommates and doing the college thing here in Pocatello.
What are you up to right now? And I know you're working at Port Knox Medical Center is what you told me?
Yeah, that's correct. I actually got a degree in something other than healthcare, but while I was going to school, I ended up working there and really liked it. So I stuck around and been employed there for 14, 15 years now.
You have a family over there as well, which is always good to see. And when you look at your high school sport experience and just what your experiences and what you learned from those, how interested are you in getting your kids into high school sports, whether it's back over here on this side of the mountains or over at a school in the Pocatello area?
Oh, it's 100% in my playbook. I mean, sports just teaches kids so much, perseverance and even overcoming things like defeat and those kinds of things. And that's why I was kind of mentioned some of my coaches from before, Jim Young and Gary Peterson and those guys. They helped a lot with that kind of stuff, not just playing a game, but learning a lot of those characteristics that you want to have in life.
Caleb Burgraff here with Jesse Aubrey, class of 1998 at Soda Springs High School. And with your wife is interested in rodeo and your two kids are kind of being pushed over to that side of things. You and I were kind of joking a little bit about that, about rodeo being something to take away from sports. But if your kids do get into that side of things, what are some of the things that you want them to get out of sports? You talk about the lessons that you learned. If you had one lesson that you'd like them to learn to take with them in life, what would be the big?
Just overcoming obstacles. Our football year, my senior year, we didn't win a single game, but it was still, like we were talking about earlier, it was still something I would, never give up. And I'm so glad that Cliff got me going and getting through and everything. Just never giving up and always pushing forward because you never know what's going to happen.
Final question for you, Jesse, and that's looking to the past and back at Soda Springs High School. What were some of the things off the football field that you really enjoyed the most about living in Soda and going to high school here?
Definitely probably the outdoors, because there is, as far as entertainment, there's a few less options there, but I would have to say the outdoors and camping, and I really enjoy going on drives and stuff out and around in the mountains.
Well, Jesse, thank you so much again for taking the time to talk with us here, and congratulations on having the family over there and the career you have over at the medical center, and thank you again for taking the time to talk.
Oh, thank you.
That was Jesse Aubrey, the class of 1998 here at Soda Springs on our Where Are They Now? We are just about 20 minutes away from the opening kick between these two teams here tonight. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what these two squads need to do putting out there onto the football field in order to come away with a win in this evening's contest. And it should be a very good contest between these two squads. Again, American Falls coming in 1-2 on the season with 2 tough losses on their schedule and a win against Filer last weekend. But for the Soda Springs Cardinals, they may be winless, but their 2 teams they've played in Firth as well as in West Jefferson to open up the season. It hasn't been an easy test for them at any rate either. So we will find out which team is ready to make a statement against a more competitive matchup and a team that is right about at the same point as they are on this season. All coming back here on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Rage Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Welcome back out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals, high up above Archer Field in Soda Springs. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear. We are in the pregame show, and it's time for us to take a look at what these two squads are going to need to do here tonight if they want to come away with a win in this evening's contest. And we start off with American Falls and the Beavers. The big thing for them is they are going to have to overcome a lot of youth. Talking with head coach Tony Cade, you'll hear more about this later on in the pregame show, but they have 9 sophomores on their team out there, a very young team, including their offensive line. That, I think, is going to be the biggest thing to focus on in this matchup between these two teams. Does that offensive line step up and make holes for the running game? They're going to be running a pro offense with 2 wide outs split out to each side. They'll run trips, they'll run doubles. But the big question, again, for them all comes down to the offensive line, giving the quarterback time as well as opening the holes. On the defensive side for them, Soda Springs has been very inconsistent with their defense so far on this season. So can the American Falls Beavers offense come up with ways of hindering the Soda Springs offense and keeping them out of the end zone and continuing to take advantage of those struggles that they have? For Soda Springs defensively, I think the biggest thing that you have to look at for them really is, can they continue their success that they've had on the defensive side of the football field? Last week at Firth, really that was the strong point of the team. They scored the only touchdown for the team in that matchup, as well as really only had 1 touchdown scored against them. Defensively, Firth had trouble moving the ball. They couldn't move it in the air. They had trouble moving it offensively on the ground. If that is something that the Cardinals can come out and repeat here tonight, that is going to be the big kicker for this squad. On the offensive end, it really comes down to what happens now that this team has some health to it. They had the bye week. They were beat up going into the bye week, but now they've rested up. A lot of their starters are coming back out there onto the field. They are going to miss Morgan Steele for the rest of this game. Matt Smith is also out for this game as well. Those are 2 big losses in the game for the Cardinals, but there are ways to overcome that if you're Soda Springs, and they have some good weapons out there. One of those that really started making a name known for him was Ridge Thompson, who is going to be on Andrew Stewart, I should say, who was going to be on the offensive and defensive ends for this team. He scored the defensive touchdown, stripping the Firth quarterback in their last game against Firth and the Cougars. And tonight he's going to be out there on wide receiver. He actually caught a 50-yard pass in that matchup as well. So a good game for him could be on the horizon, and he might just become the number one option for quarterback Devin Adams. That is going to be the keys to the game for both of these two squads. We are about 15 minutes away from the start of tonight's contest. On the other side, we have our Coaches Show brought to you by Arctic Circle, where the good stuff is, in Soda Springs, as we take a look at what the Cardinals are coming up with and what the two coaches have to say on KBRV 800 The Bear.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
Welcome back out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals here at the Soda Springs High School football field, Archer Field. And we are just about 13 minutes away from the opening kickoff between the two teams here, American Falls and the Beavers, as well as the Soda Springs Cardinals. It's time right now for the Cliff Garbett pregame coaches show, brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs. Where the good stuff is, no one sees the game the way the coaches do, and we're going to take a few minutes to visit with Tony Cade, the head coach of the American Falls Eagles, and then sit down with the Cardinals head coach, Cliff Garbett, and get his thoughts on what his team needs to do to come away with a win this afternoon. We'll be right back after this from Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. You're listening to the Soda Springs Cowboys football on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming on mylocalradio.com.
French fries and Alaskan halibut, Arctic Circle in Soda Springs. Make sure you get the meal you by choosing high-quality ingredients like Black Angus beef, French fries, and Alaskan halibut. Arctic Circle in Soda Springs. Make sure you get the meal you deserve. Add one of the above-the-rim shakes and you have a meal fit for a king at a price that can feed the whole family. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or a treat after the game, stop by today and visit Renee and the team at the Soda Springs Arctic Circle on 2nd South and 1st East. It's where the good stuff is.
Caleb Burgraff here on the pregame show with the American Falls head coach, Tony Cade. And, Coach, a good night for football here. The rain finally got out. Are you excited that it's going to be clear weather for tonight's game to start everything off?
Well, sure. I mean, every night that you have a clear night, and it's a great night for Friday night football, I mean, that the weather cooperates, that's always a good night. And I'm excited. I mean, great setting for a Friday night football game here on the backside of the mountains, and everything else looks great.
You guys on the season so far, 1-2 as a team, but you've played some tough competition. You and I were talking about that, and you're coming off a win. How much did that win mean to your kids in order to get onto that side of the board? And is there any momentum you feel is going to be carried over?
You know, yeah, I do. I mean, from the first two games, we progressed, and I think I spoke to you earlier about, you know, every game that's what you look for is progression instead of digression. And I saw a different change in their attitudes and their countenance. They started having fun last Friday night, And that's what you ask for as a coach is making sure kids are having fun first of all, and getting after it and being fundamentally sound. And as far as I'm concerned, they've embraced what we're trying to do in our program, and it's turned in the right direction at the right time. The first two teams we played were juggernauts. Great teams, great coach teams, and with a lot of experience. And we're young, and I just thought that our momentum's going in the right direction.
This is your really first experience dropping down to a school that really doesn't have a lot of kids to choose from, a small team. You said 16 kids, 9 of them sophomores. How much have you grown as a coach, and how have you used that to grow with the kids, not just teaching the kids to grow?
Well, that's a great question. I feel as a coach, I've had a learning experience every week, and going back clear into the summer, compared to 110 kids out in a program versus 30 kids out in a program. And every moment's a teaching moment as far as me as a coach teaching kids, and as far as me reflecting on me as a coach. And I think I've grown just as well as the kids have in a short amount of time, and I feel like as long as that learning and that progression keeps going forward, we're going in the right direction.
Caleb Burgraff here with Tony Cade on the pregame show. And Coach, we talked about your team as far as the record-wise and getting that momentum. Who are some of the offensive players, though, that lead this team when things start going south and really step up to try and keep the team excited?
We have a great opportunity with a lot of state qualifying wrestlers that have been on the big show a lot, and a lot of leaders in individual sports, and things like that. But Boone Julio is my quarterback. He's the one that directs it as a sophomore. I haven't seen a kid that's been able to take command of a huddle of a couple of upperclassmen and just take command of a game when things don't go right. He's still positive, and he'll throw an interception and just get it out of his head. And the pluses are he keeps everybody else on that same page as well. And Tate Grover, he's our senior leader. I would call. He's probably one of our few seniors that's there for every down and every play and every minute. And he's been a great influence on the kids as well. So we have a lot of great kids. Cameron Hennish, Joey Morris is finally back. We've had him lost to injury for the first 2 weeks, and he's a great leader. We expect a lot out of him this year, and he just happened to have a dislocated shoulder, and he just came back last week, which was limited playing time. But you know what? He made a huge difference as a senior for us, and those are some of the guys. And defensively, we play as a team, we lose as a team. That's been what we preach. We don't even get introduced to individuals, and we're making it a team effort this year. And I will put these 16 kids or these 9 sophomores up against any senior class that I've been a part of, just as far as their leadership. And it's a roller coaster ride, momentum, emotions. And that's what Friday Night Lights are about. And I'm excited for them. They have great leadership abilities.
Final question for you, Coach, and that's looking over at Soda Springs. You got a team that hasn't won, got a little bit beat up so far this year. They're coming off a bye week, though. They've had a little bit of extra time to prepare. What is your biggest concern about Soda tonight?
They're a physical team, and you look at them on tape, and like I said, everybody can look at tape and take what you want out of it, but the physicality is impressive. They get after it, they fire off the ball. I've been impressed with that, and they're in a lot of similar situations that we've been. They opened up with West Jefferson, and then they go to Firth. 2 top teams in 2A, and just like we did, Aberdeen's a top team. We opened up with this. Kimberly's a great team this year, and I think we're a lot of similarities, and this might be a game that we both kind of come to show up at what we really got, and that's what's going to be exciting about tonight's game is just seeing who gets after it. The physicality. That's what I worry about a little bit with our kids, versus upperclassmen. But it's just who wants to win it more, and that's what it's going to boil down to tonight, I think.
Coach Cade, thank you so much again for the time. Good luck to your team tonight, and hopefully we have a good night here on Friday.
You bet. I appreciate the time, man. Great to be here.
That was Coach Tony Cade of the American Falls Beavers here on the Coach Cliff Garbett pregame show. You are tuned in to the pregame coaches show, brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. Our chat with Coach Cliff Garbett of the Soda Springs Cardinals is coming up next on your home for Cardinal football, KBRV 800 The Bear, and online at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Welcome back out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. We're in the middle of the Coach Cliff Garbett pregame coaches show on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. Brought to you by Arctic Circle in Soda Springs, where the good stuff is. We'll be right back with Coach Cliff Garbett right after this.
By choosing high quality ingredients like Black Angus beef, French fries, and Alaskan halibut, Arctic Circle in Soda Springs makes sure you get the meal you deserve. Add one of the above-the-rim shakes and you have a meal fit for a king at a price that can feed the whole family. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or a treat after the game, stop by today and visit Renee and the team at the Soda Springs Arctic Circle on 2nd South and 1st East. It's where the good stuff is.
Caleb Bergraff joined here with Coach Cliff Garbett. And Coach, you had your bye week. What were you able to take away from the bye week, and how's the team kind of performing around the last couple of days, getting some off time?
Our couple practices we had this week, we weren't too impressed with them, but we had a good scrimmage on Thursday. Kids played well, and now we're just trying to get kids rested up and back from injury. That's the biggest thing from this bye week. We're just hoping to get kids back.
Talking about that scrimmage, I know a lot of that was for the fundraiser for the team. How did that go? How did you get a lot of support from the community in that, and what were kind of the reactions to how the kids actually performed in the scrimmages?
It was good. We did have quite a few people out there, considering there were some volleyball games going on at the same time, and we were able to glean some stuff from the game as a coaching staff, from different kids and other things we might be able to do with them.
Looking into what's going to happen this week now, you had that bye week, a chance for the kids to rest up. How hard are practices going to be this week now, again, knowing that you have a tough 3A school coming in, and you really need to get them ready for that, but you also want to be careful to avoid getting any kids any more beat up?
Yeah, it's a fine line. I mean, because you got to try and get the kids prepared as you can for the game, but like you said, you don't want to get anybody hurt. So it's tough to figure out what that line is, but hopefully we can do the things that we need to do, to get them prepared without getting anybody hurt.
When you look at this team, offensively is where the biggest struggles have been so far, but not necessarily anything major and glaring at this point. A lot of it has come down to timing. You and I have talked about that so far before. How has Adams been adjusting to the kind of rotating situation at wide receiver right now? Has that kind of thrown off the timing at all, or is that something he's been able to adjust to really well?
I think for what he's had to deal with, he's done a pretty good job, and it's tough when you got different guys coming in and out of the game all the time, and trying to get that time that you put in with them in practice, and then you got someone coming in that's a different speed. It does make a difference, but I think he's adjusted to it pretty well.
Caleb Bergraff with Coach Cliff Garbett of the Soda Springs football team. And Coach, looking at the injuries you had 17 kids able to suit up for Firth, a couple injuries there. Looking at this game against American Falls, is there any way that you're looking at bringing kids up from the JV team to fill out the roster a little bit, get them some playing time at the varsity level if you can't have a full healthy team going into this week?
Yeah, there is a couple guys that we've talked about, bringing up and not giving as much time on the JV side. We kind of have a fine line there too, where we don't want a guy just coming up to varsity and then not coming in. So we still like to get him some quarters in the JV if we can, and then if we need him, we have him.
It's kind of nice with having the limited roster right now that you have kids that know they're going to get into the game and can prepare themselves for getting into the game, and there's not a lot of limbo in there. Is there a little bit of a blessing in disguise in that, to where you can prepare a smaller amount of kids and give more kids time out in the practice field?
I mean, it is nice to have less kids to deal with that way, but I'd much rather have more. I mean, it's a lot easier when you don't have to look back and go, oh, who am I going to put in, because everybody's injured, So, yeah, if I have my choice, I'd definitely have more guys and be able to give more guys reps and rest and all that kind of stuff.
Two more questions for you, Coach. These looking over at American Falls now, a bigger team. How do you prepare your kids to be going against a team that is going to have a little bit more size on them as far as the amount of kids that they can bring in and out?
Our preparation is just the same every week. We're just trying to improve ourselves every week. Doesn't really matter who we're playing, we're just trying to get ourselves prepared the best we can and have the kids hustle, and play their guts out. That's what we're looking for.
When you look at American Falls, obviously you've been able to look at a little bit of film from them at this point in time to prepare. What have you seen from them? What's their biggest advantage that they have when they take to the field night in and night out?
It's like you said, they do have some bigger kids, and that's what we're going to have to do is just try and control the line of scrimmage and move them. And if we can do that, I think we'll be okay.
Coach, thank you again for the time. Good luck this weekend, and hopefully you guys can come away with the win on homecoming.
All right, thanks, Caleb. Appreciate it.
That was close. Cliff Garbett, and this has been the Coach Cliff Garbett pregame coaches show brought to you by Arctic Circle, where the good stuff is in Soda Springs. Kickoff is right around the corner on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reach Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals on KBRV 800 The Bear. It's time for us now to take a look at the starting lineups between these two sides as we are just about set for our opening kickoff between American Falls and the Beavers and the Soda Springs Cardinals. Soda Springs will be kicking off to American Falls.
For the American Falls team, we have been asked just to announce the entire team. So welcome, American Falls
by quarterback
Beavers.
Boone Julio. He is a sophomore quarterback, 5'11", 145 pounds. He'll also be playing on the defensive end. Behind him, his wide receivers and running backs look like this. Number 10 is Marcos Arce, as he is a senior, 5'9", 155 pounds.
Tanner Myers.
For the American Falls Beavers. Joey Morris, where's the number 13? He is a senior, 6 foot, 164 pounds, a wide receiver as well. Dillinger Fawcett is a senior as well, the third and final senior in the offensive position players. It is going to be Cameron Hennish who is going to be out there on the offensive end. Dillinger Fawcett is a defensive starter for them. He wears number 27, 6'3", sophomore, 170 pounds on the offensive wide receiver core. Tyler Beck wears the number 42. He is a junior fullback, and he'll be playing in that back position for this entire game. And they do like to use their fullback over at American Falls. On the other side for the Soda Springs, for the offensive line, number 65 is a sophomore, James Ransby, 6'3", 215 pounds. He is tailed by number 72, Cordell Hymas, another sophomore, 6'2", 210 pounds. 73 is Dallin Atkins. He's the lone senior on the offensive line, 5'9", 205 pounds. Number 79 is Brandon Boyer. He is a sophomore, 6'4", 200 pounds. And wrapping it all up is their tight end, number 87, Colton Adamson, a sophomore as well. And again, that offensive line is going to be the big thing to watch with this American Falls team, as their lone senior wearing the number 12, Dallin Atkinson, will have a lot on his shoulders. On the other side for the Soda Springs Cardinals, their offense led onto the field by Tanner Myers. He is a senior linebacker linebacker for the Cardinals. He's followed by number 9, Andrew Stewart, a senior linebacker. Number 10 is Ridge Thompson, a junior defensive back. 11 is Dedham Adams, and along with the quarterbacking duties, he is going to be the third linebacker in this 4-3 lining defense that the Cardinals run. Dima Kimball will be out there as a defensive end. He's wearing the number 12. Dylan Farnes wears the number 12. He is a running back and linebacker for the Cardinals as well. Grant Clegg plays the defensive back, a senior for them in that backfield. Christopher Lloyd is a defensive back as well. He is a senior for the Cardinals in this squad on homecoming evening. Kobe Allen is a senior defensive end wearing the number 54. Hunter Bybee wears the number 64 as a defensive lineman. And number 69 is Caden Brown for the Soda Springs Cardinals. As again, they will be kicking off to American Falls to start off tonight's evening. Cardinals come out wearing their black home uniforms with gray pants, black helmets with the SS for Soda Springs up above the top, a myriad of colors below in the socks with red, black, blue, and white, all cutting across there for the Cardinals. On the other side for American Falls, same colors, different scheme, white uniform tops, red numbers. If you imagine a uniform top much like what the Houston Texans wear, that is what you would see. The Air Force AF on the right side of the helmet in silver black pants with white and red trim down the side. It is a clean look for both teams, and it is a good look for both teams. And for those of you watching online at mylocalradio.com, you can see the SS in the middle of the field, but the grounds crew did a great job, not only with the numbers tonight, but the students were out there earlier getting the SS into the middle of the field for homecoming night here at the Soda Springs Cardinals field, Archer Field here in Soda Springs, Idaho. Thank you once again for tuning in. Kickoff is brought to you by the 3C Grill and Grace, burgers, pizza, and barbecue, and don't forget they cater as well. It'll be Devin Adams to kick off for the Cardinals. Right to left on your radio dial. Back to receive this one are a pair of Beavers from American Falls. Adams kick high and deep over to the near side of the field. Right to left will come Tyler Beck as he goes up the middle, cuts back to his right, escapes one tackle, has a hole, one man to beat, and that is Adams, who is able to bowl him over at the 40-yard line. And good starting field position for American Falls and the Beavers as they get things going here with 60 yards of grass to cover on their way to Soda's end zone. Cardinals again playing on the defensive end, trot out there, and we'll see if they can get a good start to this game. They have so far been able to have success on the defensive side of the football. We'll see what they can do against Boone Julio, the sophomore quarterback, and his young offensive line. They're anchored, I should say, by center number 65, James Ramsey. As Ramsey under center will take the snap of Julio. He hands this one off to his fullback right up the gut, and the Cardinals defense stops him for about a gain of 2 yards on the play to the 42-yard line. The run goes to Tyler Beck, number 42, in the backfield. Just a quick run up the gut, and the Cardinals will have 2nd down and 8 to defend here on their home field. Ball just to the left of the SS from our view up on top of the press box here at Archer Field. Back under center in that pro formation, one wide receiver split out to each side is Boone Julio. He'll take the snap. Another handoff. No, fakes it. Looking down the field. He's going to air this one out. Double coverage and deep beyond the reach of his tight end, Colton Adamson. He had the man somewhat open, but there was good coverage down the side as Grant Clegg was able to swat the ball and get in there to disrupt the pass. So 0 for 1 start for Julio, the quarterback, as he will come once again to the field with the play from his head coach on the near sideline. Julio wears the number 4, and again, a sophomore for this team, looking to try and get them off to a hot start. That's been something they've lacked so far this year, and they lacked against Aberdeen. They lacked it against Filer, as in the shotgun. He'll take the snap this time, fakes the handoff, takes the ball, rolls out, escapes one tackle as he gets his foot up, and then throws the ball away to the near sideline into his own bench as it drops down 4th down and 8 coming up, and we'll see what American Falls decides to do here. You would assume that with 3rd down and 8 this early on in the game, you would play for field position and expect a punt to go the Cardinals' way, and that is exactly what will happen. Tanner Myers, the senior running back and linebacker, will be back to receive. To kick the ball off is Luis Cervantes, or Cervantes, or as they call him, Taz on the team. He takes the snap, and this is a kick that is blocked by the Cardinals. It's going to roll around, and it is recovered by American Falls at the 31-yard line, but it was 4th down, and the Cardinals with phenomenal field position to open things out after the blocked punt.
Cervantes' low kick will be smothered at the line of scrimmage where the Cardinals will take over.
At the 31-yard line, the offense will come out. You could not ask for a better start for Soda Springs. The stands on the far side of the field packed full of fans as they get something to cheer about early on. 10:59 to go, just a minute and 1 second into the matchup here between the Cardinals and the Beavers. Devin Adams will bring his team to the line of scrimmage. That familiar 2 wide receiver set to each side with the back behind him. Moving it to Dylan Farnes. As Adams calls out the snap count, takes it, and he's going to hand this one off to Farnes right away. It's blown up at the 30. Luis Cervantes comes up and destroys him at the 30. It is a 1-yard gain, but a tough yard at that, and a strong tackle to open up this play. 10:40 to go as the clock winds, and Soda has a 2nd down and 9 to go after a short play there. They are in 4-down territory to start off this drive. After blocking the punt, they start off at the 31, so it opens up the playbook a little bit more here on the 2nd down. Adams brings his men up to the line again. Twin set to each side, takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, goes over the middle with a slant that is bobbled and dropped on the play, as trying to come up with that pass and catch was Christopher Lloyd, but it just dropped out of his hands, and the Cardinals will drop down, brings up 3rd down 9. As I said, that's where you had that open playbook. Now the Cardinals need to try and get one of those plays that can bring up a little bit of a middle distance for that 4th down play if you try to go for it here. You'd like to get the 1st down, but at least get something down the field. Adams comes once again to the line of scrimmage. Devin puts a man into motion. That's Myers across the formation, right to left. Takes the handoff. He's going to be wrapped up and is able to fall forward for a gain of 2. And the Cardinals will have a 4th down and 7 coming up after the short rush by Myers. They have been able to gain positive yardage on the 2 running plays that they've had. And again, this is a sophomore defensive line that is being put against them by American Falls. 9:55, clock continues to wind, 4th down and 7 from the 28-yard line of American Falls. Right to left, the Cardinals work. They're on the near side hash mark. Adams in the shotgun, again with Farnes behind him. He'll take the snap, looks over to his right. He's going to roll to that side as well. Throws one on the run, picked off and then dropped on the far sideline. Joey Morris, the senior, had the ball in his hands and couldn't secure it. Cardinals will get away with a break as that one had a lot of green turf on the other side, but it is a 4th down failure to conversion, and the Cardinals will turn it right back over to American Falls at the 28-yard line. American Falls looking to try and gain more than the 2 yards they had in that first drive. 9:36 to go as they take over 2nd possession. It's Julio in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He'll keep this one himself, tucks in behind his defensive back, and he is going to barely get back to the initial line of scrimmage. Great job by the Cardinals reacting to the rush and limiting him to no gain. That will bring up a 2nd down and 10 as the clock moves. 9:19 to go. First quarter of action here. 0-0 the score on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard on the right end of the field here at Soda. Behind it, the setting sun. Probably a good another 20 to 30 minutes of sunlight left here as the light's already on at the home of the Cardinals. In the shotgun, once again, 2 wide receivers split out to either side is Boone Julio. Calls out the count, takes the snap. Good snap to him. He looks to pass already. Defense collapses around him, and taking him down on the sack is Hunter Bybee. Bybee wraps him up, drops him for a, call it a 7-yard loss on the play. And it will bring up a 3rd down, and the scoreboard says 18 on the big end of the field. Great sack there coming up with the hit. Again, Hunter Bybee, a great wraparound straight up on the gut rush. It brings up a big passing down here for American Falls. 2 wide receivers each side. Julio drops back. The sophomore immediately under pressure, and he's dropped again. Dima Kimball, the one with the hit this time, and they drop him 11 more yards. An 11-yard sack, and the Cardinals defense doing what I said they could do, continuing that rise up from what they were able to do last year, and they already have it a fourth down, and call it 28 yards all the way back at the 10.5 yard line of American Falls. Cardinals got a punt block last time out there, and back again to try and punt this one away is Luis Cervantes, standing at the 50-yard line, and now back a little bit towards the 45-yard line of Soda is Myers. Snap once again, a good one. Kick is up, and a decent kick, slowly warbling over to the right side, picked up at the 40-yard line by Myers. He's going to try and run through a couple of tackles before being wrapped up at the 31-yard line of American Falls. And again, the Cardinals will take over with great field position, 31 yards away from a score and getting onto the board early here. Both times they've started in American Falls territory, and we'll see if the Cardinals can advance the ball a little bit more than their 3 yards this time around. And if Adams can shake off the near interception that he almost threw. Devin comes out. 2 wide receivers to either side. Ball on the far hash mark, working right to left. Adams takes the snap, hands this one off to Farnes. It is Farnes as he runs around, skips through a couple of tackles for a 12-yard gain up to the 19-yard line. Farnes gets a first down on the first play from scrimmage and the second offensive set for the Cardinals, and it is a 1st and 10 inside the red zone from the 19-yard line. Still nothing here. Clock winds with 7:11 to go on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Adams will bring his men to the line of scrimmage once again. 2 split out to each side. Farnes behind him in the backfield. Snap, a high snap is going to go over his head. A scramble for the football, and it's picked up by Adams, who was luckily able to scramble and see the ball. They're going to mark him down at the 29-yard line. It's officially a loss of 10 on the play for Adams.
Second down and 21.
Brings up a second down and about 20 yards to go here, as the shadows continue to grow longer here at the home of the Cardinals. Thank you again for joining us here. If you haven't checked out our live video stream online at mylocalradio.com, do so, as you can watch the game like you're here and have probably one of the better views in the stands as Cardinals come back out. Man in motion is Myers. They're going to hand it off to him. He goes up the gut, and he carries several different tacklers from American Falls forward for what will be a 2-yard gain. It'll cut it down to about a 3rd down and 18 yards to go on the second carry of the matchup, or of the game for Tanner Myers. Cardinals a big 3rd down coming up here, 3rd down and 17. And if you can gain another 6 or 7 yards, you might put yourself into long field goal range, or you could at least try and make it a more manageable 4th down. Again, that spread formation comes out for the Cardinals. In the pistol is Adams. Good snap. No, he bobbles the snap again this time. In the backfield, wrapped up and driven to the turf on the far side by Corbin Boyer as he came up with another big play there. That one's going to go as an 11-yard sack, and again, caused by a tough snap that came to Adams. And it is going to bring up, call it 4th and 27 on the big scoreboard. 21 yards lost by the Cardinals on those 2 plays to Adams. And again, neither one really his fault, as the center having trouble with his long snapping, and not something that normally happens in practice. Coach Cliff Garbett, after his struggles in the first game, told me that he really does not struggle too much with those snaps. And here it costs the Cardinals field position. They'll be punting away. To do the punting is Tanner Myers. And a good snap to him, receives it well, and he's going to send one down the far sideline. It'll kick and roll its way into the end zone, and American Falls will again be pushed back deep at the 20-yard line. They'll start over with the football on 1st and 10. With 4:43 to go, still no score between the 2 sides here. American Falls coming up with the offensive possession in the first half of play. Their field position slowly getting worse and worse as this game has progressed. They started at the 40 on their first possession, the 28 on their second possession, and the 20 on their third possession. Under center is going to again be Boone Julio. Pro formation behind him. He takes a snap, and he's going to hand this one off to his running back, who's tripped up and not gaining much. Is going to be Luis Cervantes, I believe. And Cervantes is going to be given, call it a yard at most on the play. And that keeps the American Falls Beavers in negative yardage right now on the game. They have negative 8 yards from their place from scrimmage, and they've run 7 now in this matchup. 4:12 to go, clock winds. Under center again is Julio. Pro formation to the right side as he pitches the ball out to Cervantes. Big hole, cut up and underneath as he's tackled near the first down. It will be right on the 30-yard line, an 11-yard gain. They're going to give them the first down. That's the best run of the game for either side, as really the blocking was right there. And as when I say best run, Farnes had a great run, but part of that was from him skipping around. So an 11-yard run for Cervantes. And up under center once again is Julio in that I formation. Takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. He's going to have pressure from Adams in his face right away. Passes it out to the near side for a 1-yard gain. Cameron Hennish wrapping that one up with the tackle is Myers on the play. The first completion of the matchup. And Hennish comes up with his first reception of the game as well, but only 1 yard as it goes for second down and 9 yards to go from the 31-yard line. Right to left, the American Falls Beavers will go. Clock winds to 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Nothing to score on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Under center again goes Julio. He'll fake the handoff. Now does give this one off to Cervantes. Rolls off a few tackles before being stood up by D. McKimble. And it's a gain of, call it, another 2 yards. And it's going to be a third down and 6 to go from the 34. As Julio will come back out. And in between distance right here, 6 yards to go, so expect a possible pass, but you still have to be wary for the run. They're going to send trips out to the far sideline, working right to left over on the home sideline for the Cardinals. With the snap, Julio bobbles it for a moment. Now he's going to line this one up deep, has his tight end. It's going to be pulled in at the 37-yard line. A gain of 28 yards. As he hooked up with Colton Adamson for the big pass. And the Beavers pick up a first down. That's their second first down of this drive and second first down of the game. 2:20 to go. Ball into Soda Springs territory for the first time in this matchup. Julio under center is going to hand this one off to his fullback, rolling off a tackle before being wrapped up at the 32-yard line after a 5-yard gain. Was Tyler Beck. The line quickly there, but they could not stop him before he was able to get that gain on only his second rush of the game. Gets to 8 yards on the night, and right now American Falls looking much better on this third offensive set. Minute 51 to go in the first quarter of play at Soda Springs High School. Julio again walks out there with his team, one wide receiver split to each side. Takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, has pressure from Adams in his face, goes for the swat, lobs one up and trying to pick this one off is Lloyd. Fighting for it and pulling it in is Colton Adamson as he drops that one down to the 2-yard line where he's wrapped up after a gain of 29 yards on the play. Back-to-back big passes have the American Falls Beavers in action, 57 yards on 2 plays. So the Cardinals defense up against the wall here after the 2 big passing plays. Minute 24 to go. Julio under center, puts a man into motion left to right. He's going to hand this one off and into the end zone, almost untouched, is Luis Cervantes as he picks up the score and the touchdown on the 2-yard run. And the first score of the game goes to American Falls and the Beavers. They'll bring out their extra point unit and go for the PAT. So the first quarter is almost done before the first team gets up onto the scoreboard. 6-0 right now. And the extra point pending on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. With Soda Springs looking to try and block this kick. It's a high snap, good hold though, and the kick is up and down the middle as the PAT from Pedro Palacios is good. And we head to the break with Soda Springs down 7-0 on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of September 17th through the 23rd. We start off with Tyson Family Pack boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. Add on to that boneless beef chuck roast or London broil steaks for $3.99. If you're looking for breakfast cereals, General Mills select varieties of cereal, $2.49 each. They also have Progresso vegetable classic soups, 75 cents a can. That's all your specials over at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
Welcome back to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. Caleb Burgraff here as the Cardinals trailing 7-0 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard here in the first quarter, a minute 17 to go. Two big passes completed between Boone Julio and Colton Adamson get the Beavers of American Falls right into scoring position, and a quick run across the goal line coming from Cervantes gets them on the board first. 7-0 here in the first quarter of play. Soda Springs set to receive from left to right. The kick will come. Kicking again, Pedro Palacios wearing the number 2. He'll be kicking to his counterpart number-wise as Tanner Myers standing at about the 6-yard line on the near side hash. The whistle blows. Kick is a good one, deep down the field and right to the 6-yard line, where Myers takes this one right up the middle. He'll start, goes over to his right, able to get to the corner and dives forwards to the 38-yard line. We'll see where they mark him, but Myers with a 32-yard return to get Soda Springs good field position to start out this drive after giving up the touchdown. 1st and 10 to go. And the offense, after being stalled on their last 2 trips, partially due to bad snaps, is going to have another chance to run here onto the field. Up under, or in the pistol, I should say, with Farnes behind him is Adams. Once again, that spread formation. Adams takes the snap right up into the pile, spins around a couple of times, and is going to be pushed forward after a gain of 1 yard. They'll give him forward progression to the 40, so call it a gain of 2. And that is his first gain of the matchup, with a negative 19 on the card for him. But once again, not really much he could do in the positions that he's been in. Sun starting to set here with the ball set at the 40-yard line. Right to left, the Cardinals work from the far hash mark. As spread wide to the near side are Jake Morrison and Ridge Thompson. 2 more to the far side with Devin Adams in the pistol. Takes the snap, looks to pass this one right away. Pressure into his face, and 4 different Beavers able to push through the line. The defensive line didn't need any help as every one of them was in the backfield, and it is a loss of 7 on the play as, again, the offensive line struggles there to keep the Cardinals' field position alive, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 15 with the clock winding to under 10 seconds to go. So most likely that will wrap up the first quarter of play here. So we will take a break, come back with the start of the second quarter on KBRV 800 The Bear. The score 7-0. Soda Springs trailing the American Falls Beavers on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Back with more on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Hey America, we need to have a little talk. We've got a lot of food in this country. We've got so much food that we can't eat it all. So how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids who need it. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Welcome back out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals here at Archer Field on the campus of Soda Springs High School. It is just about 7:30 here as 12 minutes back up onto the scoreboard, and the Cardinals will come out offensively with a 3rd down and 15 facing them from their own 33-yard line. They need to reach the 47 if they want to continue this drive. Working left to right after switching ends of the field. Cardinals come out once again in that spread formation. Adams in the pistol. calls out the count and gets a jump. The defense jumps first, I think, on the far side, as number 79, Brandon Boyer, jumped. And a discussion will be because also jumping on the play was Andrew Stewart, but I believe he was also drawn offsides by Boyer. It was a very close call. Not agreeing with it already is Joey Morris, one of the defensive backs for the American Falls Beavers, but they will move the Cardinals up 5 yards with the first penalty of the game for either team. And it makes it a much more manageable 3rd down and about 9.5 yards from the 37-yard line. Cardinals will come up to the line of scrimmage, spread formation. Near side, Myers and Stewart. Far side is going to be Morrison and Thompson. Pass is going to be a screen pass dropped by Farnes at the 35-yard line. He had a great wall in front of him, and that was a first down play for the Cardinals if they had been able to convert it. Instead, it goes as a dropped pass, and they will have to come up with some more yardage here on 4th and 10 or punt the ball away, and Adams checks into the sideline, so most likely a punt is upcoming. But Farnes, again, just got too excited, didn't focus on catching the ball. Instead, he saw the green in front of him and the nice line of black jerseys that were lined up ahead of him and ends up dropping the catch. 11:56 to go. Cardinals punting away on 4th and 10 from the 47-yard line. No one back to receive for the Beavers as they're just going to let this one roll, and it is a sky-high punt. Beautiful kick. Takes a Soda Springs roll to the far sideline, and it'll stop at about the 25, and that is where the Beavers will take over for their 4th drive of the matchup after the Cardinals get held to a 3-and-out once again. For the Beavers, a strong start in their last matchup as they were able to really drive the ball down the field on 2 big plays for the most part, as it was Colton Adamson who was able to reel in 57 yards worth of receiving on that play, or in that drive, I should say, and was really the backbone of that offense. We'll see if they can come out once again and strike while the iron is still hot, as it'll be Julio coming out once again with his offense in the shotgun. One back flanking him to the near side, and behind that is Cervantes in the backfield. 1 wide receiver split out to each side. Right to left they go. Snap goes to Julio. Good snap, but pressured right away. Adams dives, can't get him. Escaping the shoelace, grab it, diving forward to the 35 or the 30-yard line with a 5-yard gain is the scramble of Julio, as he saw the pressure coming up in his face and was able to escape and make it a 2nd down and 5. Adams dove for the shins, but just was not able to pull it in. 11:18 to go here now as American Falls will trot forward to the football here, trying to upset the Cardinals on homecoming night, and it's gotten off to a great start to this point in time. In the shotgun in the under center with the pro formation, handoff goes to Cervantes. Driving, he's going to be held up short of a 1st down. Gets up ahead to the 34-yard line. After a gain of 4 yards, Cervantes has been the main back for American Falls at this point in time. 5 carries for 19 yards. 8 yards on 2 carries so far for Tyler Beck. And again, the sophomore offensive line getting some good push up at the front of the line of scrimmage. The physicality really there for American Falls, and they do have some good size on that offensive line. So it's not like they're coming at you with a lot of small bodies at that spot. 10:28 to go, clock winds. Snap goes and is handed off into the backfield and being stopped short of the 1st down, as the far line judge is going to come up with a 3rd down and about a foot away from that 35-yard line. And we'll see if the Cardinals have to play another down here after the 1-yard gain on Tyler Beck with that one. Trotting out onto the field is number 27, Cameron Hennish, and out onto the field as well as Boone Julio, as it does look like American Falls will go for it here after the success their defense has been able to have. Ball on the American Falls side of the 35-yard line, about a foot away from a new 1st down. 9:44 to go. Clock winds on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Under center is Julio. I formation behind him. 1 wide receiver to either side. It's going to be a sneak, and he's stopped. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Coming up with big tackling right there is Andrew Stewart. Meeting him at the line of scrimmage, and the Cardinals defense holds. They're going to bring the chains over for a measurement, but again, this one, by my view up here, was stopped just shy of the first down. And again, Andrew Stewart, the first linebacker, threw the hole as he saw the play coming and was able to read the gap, read the hole, and meet Julio at the line. 4th and 1 was the down. This play a huge one as if the Cardinals take over. They'd get the ball at the 34.5-yard line inside American Falls territory for the third time. And again, the defense would have done its part to keep the chains on their side of the field. Chains stretch out, and it's short by a matter of 4 or 5 inches, and the Cardinals take over with 9:33 to go. First down and 10 to go from the American Falls 35-yard line. As I said, the third time that the Cardinals have been able to start in Beavers territory. And with 9:33 to go, you hope that they can take advantage here and, for their rate, get the momentum back on their side. A huge opportunity for the Cardinals. They'll trot out onto the field. On the near side are Myers and Stewart in the receiver positions. Far side, Ridge Thompson and Jake Morrison. In the pistol, once again, is Devin Adams as he calls out the count. He'll take the handoff, or gives the handoff, I should say. No, he keeps it himself, going out to the far side, trying to get the corner, and he's going to move forward about 4 yards, actually call it 3 yards, up to the 31-yard line, and it's a good start to the play there, as Adams on the read option keeps it himself. 9 minutes and 10 seconds. The clock continues to wind. Cardinals down 7-0 here. Second quarter of play against American Falls on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Up to the line of scrimmage again. Adams in the pistol. Same formation, twin set to each side. Takes the handoff and will keep it himself once again. Stiff arms himself away from a man in the backfield. He'll come up, catches a block at the 30 or the 25-yard line before being rolled forward to the 20. It goes as a gain of 12 and a first down for the Cardinals.
Morrison on the tackle.
A tackle by Morrison on the play, and again, Tyler Beck almost had Adams in the backfield, but Adams was able to stiff arm himself away in order to break free and break forward down the near sideline, and it again comes out as a 1st and 10. Down on the play is Tyler Beck, as near side of the American Falls sideline. He is on his back, and the Soda Springs trainer is going to come over and have a word. Talking things over and making sure that he's okay. You never want to see a kid get hurt, especially not this early on in the game. As he gets up, will walk off under his own power, and we'll hope that, again, that it's nothing too serious. Out onto the field to replace him is going to be James Ramsey, the sophomore, number 65, an offensive and defensive lineman for the American Falls Beavers. 8 minutes, 46 seconds to go. Clock begins to wind now as the official's whistle blows here. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Cardinals, the second deepest they've been able to get since they got to the 19-yard line back in the first quarter. Offense again starting to move the ball. Adams will be in the pistol. Once again, same formation. 2 wide receivers split out to each side. Left to right, the Cardinals move on your radio dial. Looking to get on the board for the first time. Adams takes the snap, hands this one off to Farnes. He's going to use his speed, bursts out to the right side, spins through a tackle with a flying leap, and is taken down at the 8-yard line. A gain of 12 for Soda Springs as they get their back-to-back first downs. Farnes gains another huge one over to the right side, and it's a 22-yard night so far for Farnes on 3 carries. 1st and goal coming up for the Cardinals, looking for their first offensive touchdown of the year. They got a defensive one last time in the field in Firth 2 weeks ago, and the offense trying to say, hey, we can do the same thing. We can carry our load for this team as well. 8:03 to go. Adams in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands this one off to Myers. No, he keeps it himself over to the near side, and a defense is right there, but he gets up to the 6-yard line before being taked up and wrapped up on the play by Tate Grover, the middle linebacker for American Falls. It goes to the gain of 3. And right now the Cardinals have not passed the ball at all on this drive. It's been a purely running drive, and mostly it's been that read option that they've been running. They've worked it to both sides of the field, and it's been successful as they have yet to be taken for a loss on the play. 2nd down and goal to go from the near side of the 5-yard line on the near hash. Soda Springs 3 downs here to try and get into the end zone or possibly take a field goal if that's the decision that Coach Garbett tries to take. And a timeout's going to be called by the Soda Springs Cardinals. We'll take one as well. 7:14 to go on the big scoreboard on the far side on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. It's 7-0 Cardinals trailing the American Falls Beavers. On the other side of this break, we'll be back with more on your home for Soda Springs football.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Welcome back to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. 7:14 to go on the big scoreboard on the far end of the field. 7-0 the Cardinals trailing the American Falls Beavers on homecoming night on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard here on KBRV 800 The Bear. They'll trot out onto the field as Adams will be in the pistol once again, left to right. 2nd down and 5 yards to go as Adams will look over around at his team and see which side they decide to go this time. Adams with the pass. He's going to do a slant to the end zone, and dropping the ball in the end zone is Myers. Good, tough defense being played by Dillinger Fawcett as he was right behind Myers, and a good job by Myers to box out. But again, that little bit of defensive pressure from right behind him was all that they needed in order to come up with the swat there. And Adams goes to 0 for 4 passing on the night, has yet to hook up with any of his receivers, although he's had 3 drop passes to this point in the game. 1 on a screen, 1 on a slant play to, I believe it was Lloyd, and then that one to Myers. We'll see what the Cardinals do here. 3rd down and 5 from the 5. 4th down, or excuse me, goal to go. They'll lob this one out to the far end of the end zone, and another drop pass. Dima Kimball, or excuse me, that is Ridge Thompson on the far side, could not pull that one in off his fingertips, and it brings up 4th down and goal to go from the 5 now. The offense, I don't know if it's the cold night, which this legitimately is the first real cold night the Cardinals have played on. I don't know if it's the cold. I don't know if it's the nerves of homecoming, but right now the Cardinals wide receivers they're flat out just not doing their jobs. They need to pick this up and pick up their quarterback if this offense wants to be able to continue to move down the field. The running game has been there. The passing game needs to step up and find a way. Cardinals go for it here. 4th down and 5 from the 5. Big possession here for Soda Springs. Adams, good snap. He throws this one near side, in and out of the hands once again of Myers. It might have been tipped into his hands by Dillinger Fawcett, but it goes down as an incomplete pass, and the Cardinals strike out 0 for 3 on the 2nd to 4th downs, and all of them passing plays as they could not get the ball into the end zone. 7:02 to go, 7-0 Cardinals trailing American Falls after another missed opportunity near the goal line. And again, the Cardinals defense will be put out onto the field with a chance to give their offense good field position. Ball at the 5-yard line. Right to left, American Falls will work Julio in the shotgun. One wide receiver goes into motion. That's Cervantes from the near side. Handoff goes to him. He's going to be wrapped up at the line by Devin Adams. Maybe a gain of 1, but call it a gain of a half yard on the play. Cervantes with his 6th carry of the game. He's got 20 yards on the night. American Falls as a team, 23 rushing yards, 58 passing yards so far in tonight's game. Clock winds, 6:38 to go. Twins out to the far sideline. The tight end Adamson to the left side or right side of the line. Snap goes to Julio. He hands this one off again to the receiver in motion. This time it's Russell Atkins who breaks through a few tackles and leans forward to the 15-yard line. It's going to be close to a 1st down. No signal from the officials yet. And they are going to keep it 3rd down as the line judge motions to the down markers. Go back to where they were as the one on the 5-yard line is starting to make a move. It goes as a 8-yard gain for number 33 Atkins, excuse me. and it brings up another very short third down and less than a yard to go. Into motion goes one man for the Beavers. Handoff goes straight up the gut, and before being blown up, Atkins gets toppled at the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 6, though. And that gives him 14 yards on the night. It was Farnes with the tackle for Soda Springs. Keeps the ball moving, keeps the chains moving. And there is a flag on the play, though, as we'll figure out what this one is. And it is going to be holding against American Falls and the Beavers. Cardinals catch a break. That eliminates the last play for American Falls. Brings up a 3rd down and 6 to go. Or depending on the spot, I should say, they're going to mark off the 7 yards for half of the distance to the goal. It puts the ball at the 7-yard line. And again, 3rd down, and it'll be about 7.5 yards to go to get the first down for American Falls and the Beavers after the holding penalty. 5:33 to go. Clock will wind once the official blows, but a timeout's going to be called first by the Beavers. They want to talk things over on this play. We'll take a quick break as well on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. It's 3rd down and about 7.5 yards to go for American Falls when they come back out onto the field after the timeout. They lead 7-0, but much like last year's game, this is a defensive struggle between the two teams. Last year it was a 7-6 final score. Soda Springs with their only win of the year against this Beaver squad. And now again, 2 first-time head coaches, new teams, new schematics, new schemes coming out onto the field. And it's a battle that is shaping up to be, again, very similar to that matchup. 3rd down and 7.5 to go. American Falls comes out with twins to the near side, working right to left on your radio dial. Towards the formation, Colton Adamson lines up on the left side. Julio takes the snap, down onto the ground. He's got pressure to his face immediately, has to avoid one of his own linemen, scrambles through the Soda defense before being taken down at the 11. It's a gain of 4 yards, but it is well short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 4 to go. And the punting unit should come back out onto the field again for American Falls, you would assume, here this deep in their own territory. Back to return the punt is going to be Myers, and he will back up to the 50-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark, and Myers lined up on that side just to the north from our position of the letters that are painted onto the field. Short punt. This one's going to kick, and it hits one of the American Falls players, as that's a live ball. Was dropped down. Miscommunication on both teams. Soda Springs getting lucky. It is dead at the 34-yard line. Cardinals again with phenomenal field position. This has been golden field position so far for Soda Springs, as they have kept American Falls backed up deep in their own territory this entire game, except for the 1 touchdown drive. And right now the average field position for Soda Springs has been right about the 40-yard line. They've had the 1 play or drive start in their own territory at their own 38. Other than that, it's been American Falls 31, 31, 35, and 33. 4:43 to go. Cardinals once again come out. Pistol formation, and in the pistol is Adams. He'll fake the handoff and going to the far side, and the wrong side is Farnes. And Adams held the ball out to fake the handoff, and Farnes went behind him, and it goes as a loss of 5 on the play.
Assisted by Boyer.
After the success that play had, you were hoping for a good one there on the Cardinals, and it's 2nd down and a short 16 for Soda Springs to try and move back up in this game. Ball at the 40-yard line on the Soda side of the field. And on the far hash mark, working from left to right once again are the Cardinals. 2 wide receivers split to each side. That 3-4 formation being played right now by the Beavers of American Falls. As again, Adams under pressure almost immediately wrapped up and taken down. The line coach on the far side for Soda Springs emphatically pointing at his offensive line as that play broke up quickly, and it'll go as a 6-yard loss on that sack. And right after Adams started getting positive yards to his name, he's back to minus 19 rushing yards on the night. But again, he has literally no choice in the backfield. Defenders in his face within 2 steps. 3:27, clock continues to wind here. First half of play, 7-0. Cardinals trail on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Adams will come back out in the pistol formation. Third down, 22 yards to go, ball at the 46. Again, pressure up into the face of Adams. He escapes it. He's going to squirt out to the far side. Won't be wrapped up until late as a flying tackle comes in. Diving on that one and wrapping up is Brandon Boyer, the sophomore defensive lineman, and it's a 2-yard loss again for the Cardinals as they will be forced to punt with the clock winding. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. So the Cardinals move backwards on 3 straight plays on this portion of the drive. And while the ball is still in Beavers territory, they will be punting it away. Myers to do the punting honors. Again, nobody back to return for the Beavers. A very odd strategy being played by them in this case. Snap is a good one. Block comes, and being ended is Cervantes. The punt is a good one. It's going to drop down and roll to the 1 where it's picked up and downed. Sprinting down the field to down that one is going to be, I believe, Justin. Excuse me, it was Andrew Stewart who was able to sprint down his number 9. A little bit tough to see on this side, but it'll be the 1st and 99 to go, essentially, for American Falls. 1st and 10 from their own 1-yard line with a lot of green field sitting in front of them, as another beautiful punt from Tanner Myers. 2:21 to go. Cardinals defense comes out looking for the sack here. Julio under center. Quick handoff in the end zone. Ball's out, and the Cardinals recover it. The defense, for the 2nd time this year, comes up with the points for the Cardinals as they knot this game up, diving onto the football on the far side of the formation, the left side of the formation, I believe was Kobe Allen, as he was able to put the Cardinals onto the scoreboard. And excuse me, it was actually number 69, Caden Brown, who came around and was able to jump onto the football. 6-7, Cardinals back within this one, and that's what special teams and defense can do for a team. That's why those plays matter. 2:17 to go, late in the 2nd quarter of play, and the Cardinals about to tie it up if the field goal attempt from Devin Adams can make its way through the uprights. Snap is good to Myers, hold good, kick up and good. Cardinals match up the American Falls Beavers 7-6 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. We'll be back after this on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
American Falls 7.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reach Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Welcome back out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. 7-7 the score on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard as the Cardinals set to kick it off to American Falls Beavers after the defensive fumble recovery in the end zone. Coming up with the fumble recovery, Caden Brown and Adams now to kick the ball away after making the PAT. Short kick to the near side. That's going to die down, diving forward for it and trying to wrap that one into his hands before it goes out of bounds was Tanner Myers. And it goes as a penalty against the Cardinals, and it will be placed at the 35-yard line for American Falls and the Beavers to come out and run their offense with 2:17 to go on the big scoreboard. And again, the defense for Soda Springs, the last 4 quarters of football, even 3 quarters of football, and you could even mark it down to just about 2 quarters of football with 2:17 left on the scoreboard here, has come up with their last defensive scores. So 2:17, Cardinals need to find a way to wrap this one up and go in with the score tied up. And American Falls with the ball at the 35-yard line. Timeout's going to be taken by Soda Springs and the Cardinals. We'll take another quick timeout here as well on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency. And 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com. Check it out today if you want to find out and see everything there is to see about Soda Springs volleyball with coaches' corners as well as live video streaming of games. And right now the Cardinals knotted up with American Falls and the Beavers after the timeout breaks. It'll be Julio in the hut, under center I should say, takes the snap, and 3 Cardinals jump across the line of scrimmage on the defensive line, and they're already walking back as that one's going to be encroachment and offsides on the Cardinals. First penalty on them, and only 2 penalties in this entire game so far for 10 yards. It's been a very clean game played by these 2 teams. And several Cardinals, after jumping off sides, doing push-ups on the field as the offsides culprits were Dima Kimball as well as the defensive linemen standing inside of them in Hunter Bybee and Caden Brown. So we'll see what happens here. 1st down and 5 to go. Handoff comes to the near side. It's going to be a 8-yard rumble and stumble by Tyler Beck as he is able to get a 1st down from the 40-yard line, and the Beavers will take over at the 47.5 with 2:08 to go here. First half of play. Game knotted up 7 points apiece on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Cardinals defense needs to hold strong here with 1st down and 10 upcoming, and a good spot to try and force that 3 and out here after the 1st down gain that gets the 1st down play. Julio under center, I formation behind him, takes the handoff, fakes the handoff again, rolls out to the near side, has time. Now that evaporates. He dives forward to the 1st down marker. It's going to be 1st down and a long 10 yards, but call it no gain on the scramble by Julio on that play. A pair of Cardinals all around him, but the one who initially forced him out of the pocket on the rollout was Dima Kimball, who was in the backfield almost instantaneously once again. 1:19 to go. Clock continues to wind. Right to left, the Beavers work in that power formation to the right side. Beck, the fullback, he'll block ahead for Cervantes. Pitch goes to him. Cardinals wrap up quickly, and it's going to be down as a 2-yard gain. Being spun forward, Cervantes, and the Cardinals again defensively scrambling in order to keep themselves up, and it has Coach Tony Cade fired up on the near side, especially with his running back, as he was expecting Cervantes to sprint around to the outside instead of cut back up to the middle where all the pressure from the Cardinals was coming. So Cervantes comes over to the bench. It looks like he's going to be taking a seat out for this play, and he takes his helmet off, so definitely he'll be having to play off on the sidelines. Coaching staff talking things over with American Falls as they pull out a play card. So something different definitely on the way here with 3rd down and 9 to go. 1:04 on the clock with the timeout called by American Falls. On the far side, if you're the Soda Springs Cardinals, you have room to work with here. Again, 3rd down and 9 is not one of those downs that you have to have too much worry, but they've already had that big passing game shown off so far, particularly Colton Adamson and his size at the tight end position. Adamson will line up to the right side of the formation, breaking free of the offensive line, but still lined up on the football. 1:04 to go. Right to left will go American Falls. Twins to the far side, including Adamson and Julio in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Good time as the ball floated up to Lloyd. It's popped up into the air and just missing the reception is Dillinger Fawcett. Good defense played by Christopher Lloyd on the play, and with 58.9 seconds to go, it'll be 4th down and 9 after the incomplete pass. Moon shining brightly over the field as the sun setting in the west and kind of at that midpoint between day and night here at Soda Springs High School and Archer Field. Cardinals hoping that they can close this out, and 4th down and 9 to go. American Falls is going to go for it with short time on the clock, 59 seconds on the board. Snap once again, a clean one to Julio. He drops back, pressure in his face, sprints up, and he's dropped for a loss of a yard. The sack picked up on the gain by Kobe Allen. The defensive tackle comes up through the middle, and the Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line of American Falls. 52.9 seconds left to go after the 1-yard loss on the play. And again, the Cardinals take over for the 4th time tonight in American Falls, 5th time tonight in American Falls territory. This time the 47-yard line, lurking right to left, and expect some big tries here by the Cardinals and possibly trying to get themselves into that passing down for a chance to throw one up to the end zone. Adams in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Good snap. Quick pass over to the far side and a mistimed route with his receiver. That's the first legitimately bad pass Adams has thrown so far tonight as he threw it behind Ridge Thompson on the far side. And it brings up an 0 for 7 now in the night for Adams for Soda Springs. Remind you to stick around. After this, we're going to have our halftime highlights brought to you by London Drug in Grace. Locally owned, locally operated, and locally loved. Your local good neighbor pharmacy. 49.3 to go. 2nd down and 10 from the 47-yard line. Cardinals with the ball, working left to right on your radio dial. Low snap. Adams picks it up, has good protection, and is going to throw this one down to the feet on the near side of Myers. One of the Cardinals' offensive linemen might have gotten away with the hold on that play. But either way, it brings up 3rd down and 10 and another incompletion for the Cardinals. A lot to talk about in halftime for the coaching staff of these two sides, as they'll really be looking to try and figure out some answers and figure out a way that they can bounce back. There's also halftime entertainment for the fans out here as the cheerleaders and dancers have been working on a routine together, and they'll be presenting that at halftime for the fans here at Homecoming. 44.6 seconds to go. 3rd down and 10 to go in the second quarter of the game. Adams again, a quick pass to the far side, squatted down. Adamson came up with his big mitts and swatted it down at the line of scrimmage. He was expecting the quick pass on the play. Adams goes to 0 for 9 passing now in the game, and it's 4th down and 10 with the ball at the 47-yard line, and the Cardinals expecting a going for it situation here as Adams still on the field. Although Myers also out there, so possibly a punt. Cardinals are going to play it safe here as they will be getting the ball to start out the second half. 4th and 10, punt coming. Nobody back again for the Beavers. Defensive pressure quickly. It's a short kick. It's going to take a Beavers bounce to the 20-yard line where it's downed by Stewart. And with 32 seconds left to go, American Falls will take over from their own 20-yard line. Another punt for the Cardinals as this defensive game has been rocking back and forth between the two sides. And again, the Cardinals, the only way that they've been able to score this year has been their defense. A strip in the first game against the Cougars, and here a fumble recovery in the end zone that was made by Caden Brown. Well, it's the only way the Cardinals have been able to score, so they're almost better off at this point in time on the season when their defense has been onto the football field because they've been able to force turnovers and get points. 32 seconds to go, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. American Falls set to snap the ball to Julio in the shotgun. He'll take this one. Low snap, bobbled. A ball's on the ground. Julio picks it up. He's got room to run, though, after the defense overruns him to the 30 and being pulled down on a diving tackle by Myers. A gain of 10 on a play that looked like it was going to be a loss of 7. It goes as a gain of 10 to just shy of the first down, and it's going to be 2nd down and inches to go. Call at the nose of the football. Julio, with great presence of mind to escape that tackle there, gets into positive yardage for the first time in the game from his quarterbacking position. He's got 7 rushing yards on the night. Timeout taken by American Falls and the Beavers, 23.2 seconds to go. And this is a team that can move the ball quickly down the field. We've already seen that so far in this game. This team is also a team that has a good field goal kicker. Pedro Palacios, when given time for the run-up, has been known to really, I was watching him during pregame warm-ups, and when he put some leg into the ball, he easily had the distance to make it from 45 yards with the ball placed at the 35-yard line. And his kickoff from the 40-yard line drove Myers to open, or the first kickoff for American Falls drove Myers back to the 6-yard line. So they have leg, and it won't take too much for American Falls and the Beavers to get into field goal range with the ball at the 30-yard line. If you can move up another 35 yards with a couple big passing plays with 23.2 seconds left to go and the clock stopping for the chains to move at first downs, there's always the opportunity to get on the board. So Soda Springs cannot let their guard down here with that 23.2 to go. Offense comes out for American Falls. Julio in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers split out to each side. Again, Adamson, the one to really watch, split out with him on the near side is Joey Morris. Snap a good one. Julio, good time. He's going to layer it out this side. Too deep. There's Lloyd. He picks it off at the 40-yard line. Pulls it in. Falling away. Lloyd comes up with his first pick of the season. 16.2 to go, and Soda Springs gets the defensive stop they needed. The first interception of the game for either team, and Lloyd picks it up for Soda Springs. A great play by little man, and especially one that will redeem him a bit after, despite going against a taller and bigger offensive threat in Colton Adamson, he was the one who was picked on that big touchdown drive by American Falls. So after making the adjustment, they move him over onto Morris. American Falls sees the matchup, tries to pick on it, and goes for naught as he comes with the interception. 16.2 to go. Cardinals come back out, working left to right from the 39-yard line of their own side of the field. Into motion goes Myers. Good snap to Adams. It's going to be a pass down the middle. Stewart has it bobbled off of his hands, and another dropped pass by Soda Springs. Stewart just could not maintain the ball into his hands as he looked it in and just had it bounce off of his gloves. 0 for 10 now. The Soda Springs offense goes. 11.9 yards to go now. As the Cardinals offense huddles up, they'll break the huddle to the far side. Are going to be Jake Morrison and Ridge Thompson. To the near side, Stewart and Tanner Myers. Snap goes once again to Adams. Good protection for him. He rolls out to the near side. Lob's going to the far side. Good pass over there to Myers. He's got the first down to the 49.
Right at the 50-yard line.
And it will be a first down for the Cardinals, a gain of 11 yards on the play.
8 seconds to go on the clock. That is a Cardinal first down.
And the Cardinals will have to hurry up here or call a timeout with 3.8 seconds left to go. And that is exactly what they will do.
Timeout, Soda Springs.
And they'll talk things over on the far side, as this a huge play here if you can get enough arm underneath it to the end zone, or get something like a hook and ladder, get a trick play going that may get some field open for you, maybe play a screen and try and use some defensive blockers in front of you. A lot of options here in high school football. You never know when a play can be broken. And with 3.8 seconds left, that's all the Cardinals could need to bust one out. 7-7 the score here. Reminder, we'll be here at halftime. We'll have our standout student Hallie Daniel joins us on the halftime show as she's our standout student with Soda Springs High School. And we'll talk with her about how the school year is going, what she was thinking about homecoming week, and what exactly and how excited she was for it. Is definitely a lot of students excited for it. As on the far side, the student section fairly full, the fan section fairly full of members of the Cardinals, fans, parents, grandparents, kids all over on that side with the first half winding up. 3.8 seconds to go, 1st and 10 from midfield. Adams in the shotgun. Snap a good one. Looks down the field. Has time. Airs it out to the far side, and it's going to go over everybody, dropping harmlessly to the turf. And that is how the first half comes to an end. The Cardinals, and hold your horses, there is a flag. And it is going to be holding against the Cardinals, so that will end the half. We head to the second half of play with a score 7-7. A lot still left to decide here on the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals, as we will be back with our halftime show on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
How'd I do?
You'll get better. Tim can't wait to be a real driver. But for now, he's king of the online track thanks to Silver Star Communications high-speed internet. Reliable, consistent speeds give him the edge against players anywhere, even the other end of the couch.
Whoa. You'll get better.
Visit silverstar.com to learn more.
Hi, this is John Ondrasik of Five for Fighting, here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You know, style is a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody's business. So please, plan ahead, designate before you celebrate. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to
Then what you're
going
to do is turn onto Marcy
and Brad
Avenue.
just broke up,
and go past
and
the first 3 lights,
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
then
think
drive 5
she's
more
happy,
blocks,
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the
Anyway,
right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. Caleb Burgraff here on KBRV 800 The Bear. It is halftime between the Cardinals and the American Falls Beavers. We're all knotted up at 7 apiece between these two sides. As on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard, let's take a look at how we got to this point in this matchup. And we start off looking at the Cardinals. Really, it's been a huge group of misses for Soda Springs in this game, as Adams has rushed for minus 21 yards this point in time. The good rushing has come from Franson, who has 22 yards on 3 carries to this point in the game. And over on the other side, passing the ball, 1 for 12. The Cardinals receivers have not really been in this game to this point in time. They've had the balls in their hands, but they just have not really been able to do anything with them, pulling them in. The 1 reception did go to Tanner Myers for a gain of 11 yards there towards the end of the half. Maybe something the Cardinals can build on going into that second half. On the other side, other than 1 drive, the third drive of the game for American Falls, which was helped along by 2 big passes to Colton Adamson for 57 yards. They really haven't been able to show much on the offensive side either. They do have good rushing so far from Cervantes, who's rushed 7 times for 22, 4 rushes for 17 yards coming from Tyler Beck, the fullback. They do have their touchdown on a 2-yard run by Cervantes that was capped off. They also have given up the touchdown to the Cardinals as they fumbled the ball in the end zone, and picking that ball up was Caden Brown for Soda Springs and the Cardinals. Really not a bad game, and I'll bring in my cameraman here tonight, Ben Jacobson. And Ben, when you look at this game so far, overall, your first assessment on what the Cardinals have been able to do?
Well, the first assessment is we're 1 for 12 on receiving. We have got to establish enough of a passing game that we can back them linebackers back a little bit and get our run game going back. Early on in the game, we were a little more efficient running the ball because their linebackers weren't sneaking up so much. But so far, we've seen, 6, 7 guys rushing, and for a spread, that's way too much. Our receivers have got to complete some passes.
The offense really has looked good. I want to get your thoughts on the defense here really quick, though. Not just for this game, but overall throughout the year. This team is really one that's going to be led by their defense. And a lot of times you see that with first-year coaches. The defense is always the first thing that really can adjust and really adapt because defense is defense across the board. What are some of the things that have really bound this defense together?
Well, the thing is with defense, I think, is effort. You've got several senior players here that are giving a good effort, that don't want to lose. They want to do good things for Soda Springs High School. They want to advance the program, not only this year, but for years to come. And it's faster to understand. Well, they've been running that defense with Coach Gambles for quite some time. So obviously it's something familiar, and it's just they can relax. They don't have to think too hard, and they can just go get the ball carrier.
Tonight is the first real cold night for this team. Also only the third game of the year. But on the offensive end, what are some of the things that you can maybe do as a coach in the locker room? What is Coach Cliff Garbett doing with his team right now, talking to his team about to get those nerves down on the offensive end?
Hopefully it's just that. It's confidence, saying it's there. We're going to make those catches. We've seen those kids make those catches in practice, and they've got to take what they've learned in practice and transform it now into the game. And so I'm sure he's telling them, he's a very positive coach. So I'm sure he is focusing on the positive, telling them that they're doing their job, it's there. We just need to execute what they've set up.
On the other side for American Falls, you can't stop looking at them on this matchup either. They have a very balanced running game between Cervantes and Beck in that backfield. Are there anything that those two have done so far in this game that have really impressed you?
Well, they have run at times with more emotion and power than us. It was, as you saw starting off the game, it was homecoming. We were more of the emotional team that was going after them, and it was all Soda. Then what happened? The momentum swung, and they got a little momentum, and their sophomores fed on that line. I'm pretty impressed with their sophomore line making some holes for some running backs that are running pretty hard. For American Falls team, they have taken a step in the right direction. But we play with that emotion like we did when we went after that, we would have had a safety if he had not fumbled the ball. And everybody just give 100% effort, and that's the difference. We got to control their run game with that effort.
Final question for you, and that's coming out into the half. What's your one key that the Cardinals need to come back around and do in order to keep in this game and win this game?
Our one key is completing passes, but to the matchups, I feel like that benefit us. Just like they took advantage a little bit of their height with their tight end, there are some advantages there for us. We've seen them. Hopefully we can take advantage of them.
Well, that's the good thoughts on the halftime highlights show that brought to you by London Drug and Grace, locally owned, locally operated, and locally loved. They're your local good neighbor pharmacy. It's time to meet our standout student as Hallie Daniel joined us earlier this week to talk about how the year has been going for her. Let's sit down and talk with her on our standout student on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Kayla Burgraff here with our standout student, sophomore Hallie Daniel. And Hallie, first things first, thank you for taking the time to sit down and talk.
You're welcome.
It's early on in the school year. You guys have been in school for about 3 weeks now. And how have things been going for you? How have you been enjoying the year?
It's been good. Just a lot of schoolwork, but it's just been normal.
Now it's your second year at the high school. How have you been kind of adapting to the high school this year? And are there any things that are different between this and your freshman year?
Not a lot of things, just like different classes, but it's been mostly the same. So I haven't really had to adapt, just back to like the schoolwork and school days and stuff like that.
Now that you've had a chance to get used to the teachers, are there any teachers that you've really looked at and said, yeah, I really like having his classes or her classes?
They're mostly all the same, but with Mrs. Cook, I like how she interacts with everyone, and she's just really fun to get along with, and it's easy in her class.
Now, what does she teach?
She teaches speech, which I'm not really good at speech, but she makes it better, I guess.
Well, this is going to be good practice for you then at that point in time. What are some of the things that you've learned so far this year just obviously in the early going, but what are some of the things that you've picked up on this year that you've really taken interest in and maybe opened your eyes to other subjects?
I don't really know. I haven't really been thinking about that.
What's your favorite class to take so far?
My favorite class so far is probably art, because you don't really have to put a lot of thought into everything. You just put what you're feeling down on paper.
There's a lot of freedom in art too. What's your favorite style of art? Do you like painting, drawing? Do you like going into other mediums? What's your favorite one?
I like drawing mostly, because it doesn't, you don't have to concentrate too much on, if you use paint, then there's a lot of things you can mess up, but with drawing you can erase whatever and stuff.
Caleb Burgraff here with Hallie Daniel, and Hallie, looking forward to the year. Do you guys do semesters here, or do you guys do full classes throughout the year?
I think we do semesters.
Do you have any idea what you're going to be taking next year, or any thoughts on what classes you want to get into?
Not really. I don't really take much into school. I'm just it comes, I'll see when I get there.
As a sophomore, what are some of the things outside of school, or outside of the classwork, I should say, at school that you're looking forward to? Obviously, homecoming's coming up. You guys have a lot of events and holidays coming up this year, too. Is there anything particular you're looking forward to?
My favorite time of the year is probably football. And I just like how everyone's there, and as a school, you participate, and, everyone's just, one. It's like a team, kind of.
Homecoming game is coming up this Friday, obviously, and what are your thoughts on the festivities that go with that? There's a lot more that goes into the halftime and a lot more stuff. Is that one of the funner games to go to, too?
I love homecoming. That's my absolute favorite time of the year, because you don't really do much, and I love it.
A couple more questions for you here. The first one is, what do you do outside of school? When you're not in school and you want to go out and enjoy yourself and have some fun, what's the number one thing you do in SOTA?
Usually, I just go and hang out with my friends. We just usually go to movies most times, because there's not a lot of things to do in SOTA, so just mainly hanging out and going around town.
Final thing for you, you've been a SOTA Springs Cardinal at the high school for a year and 3 weeks now. What's your favorite thing, the number one thing that you enjoy about being a SOTA Springs Cardinal?
Probably all the games, basketball games and football games. I love it because everyone's just so into those sports that they're so loud and just spirit, full of spirit on those, and that's my favorite thing.
Hallie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk. Good luck to you the rest of the school year, and hopefully you stay out of trouble and don't end up in your dad's office too much.
Thank you.
That is Hallie Daniel, our standout student for tonight's game over at SOTA Springs High School, a sophomore at SOTA Springs High School. About 3 minutes and 40 seconds before the two teams return back out onto the field here at the home of the Cardinals, with a score 7-7 on your Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. We got your kickoff coming up next, brought to you by the 3C Grill in Grace, with burgers, pizza, and barbecue. And don't forget, they cater as well. That's all over the 3C Grill over in Grace. Be sure to check them out. We'll be back after this break here on KVRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of September 17th through the 23rd. We start off with Tyson Family Pack boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. Add on to that boneless beef chuck roast or London broil steaks for $3.99. If you're looking for breakfast cereals, General Mills select varieties of cereal, $2.49 each. They also have Progresso vegetable classic soups, 75 cents a can. That's all your specials over at Lalaton's in SOTA Springs.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Welcome back out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. It's homecoming night with about a minute and a half until the start of the second half between the Cardinals and the American Falls Beavers. We're all knotted up at 7 apiece here on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. And again, a final look at what these two teams need to do. Final thoughts on what they need to do going out there into this matchup. And again, for American Falls, you have to find that offensive rhythm again if you're going to want to try to do anything, because this is a tough defense, a physical defense you're going against with Soda Springs and the Cardinals. On the other side for the Cardinals, offensively, you've had the openings, you've had the holes. You have to open up those holes and get the ball into the hands of your receivers, who will finally be able to hopefully catch the ball. They've been there, they're open, and it's just a matter of trying to wrap this one up. 42 seconds left before the start of the kick. It will be the Cardinals receiving this kickoff as they look to try and get themselves onto the scoreboard to get the lead to start out the second half of play here. They'll be working from left to right on your radio dial. The kickoff coming from right to left will come from Pedro Palacios. Back to receive the kick is going to be Tanner Myers, who's doing some high knees on his way out to the 10-yard line, where he will position himself. It's time for the 3C Grill and Grace kickoff. Burgers, pizza, and barbecue, and don't forget they cater as well. 12 minutes up on the big scoreboard. The crowd beginning to file and return back to their seats after the break, as are the American Falls fans on the near side of the field. And Palacios will line up at about the 33-yard line. Ball on the near side hash, runs up to the ball and will send this one a line drive, kicking and rolling its way to the 9-yard line, where it's fielded there by Myers. He'll cut off to his left side, now gets a blocker, and is going to roll his way forward to the 25-yard line. A good return, and the Cardinals will have solid field position to start out their first drive of the second half. Again, we'll be at the 25-yard line. And we will see how they come out. They had some success running the ball early, but due to the lack of the receivers catching the ball, that running offense really it had a damper put into it. So with 11:52 on the big board, 7-7 your score. Cardinals come out with that wet spread formation. In the pistol formation is going to be Adams. Looks to either side, sets his line down, and he'll take the snap. Gives this handoff, first one over to France, and he's wrapped up quickly and solidly at the 20-yard line, coming up with the tackle on that side. And looking for the number was Cervantes. And the Cardinals, Farnes loses 5 yards on the first play from scrimmage. And it'll be a second down and 15 to go from the 20-yard line. Not the way the Cardinals wanted to come out to start out the half with a loss of yardage. That should give some momentum over to American Falls and the Beavers. We'll see how the Cardinals respond. They're going to line up twins to either side. Adams in that pistol formation with Farnes behind him. They'll run to the near side. Adams cuts up the middle, refuses to pitch, now breaks his way through, keeps the feet turning for an 8-yard gain, rolled ahead to the 28-yard line. Adams never said die on that play. He was wrapped up back at the 20-yard line, to be honest, and then just kept the feet driving. If you ever want to see a player really putting the heart out there, and a reason why keeping those feet moving is important, that was it right there. Instead of having a 3rd down and 12, the Cardinals are going to line up with a 3rd down and 7 after the 8-yard march down the field by Adams. They'll come back to the line of scrimmage. Cardinals wearing their black home uniforms with the black tops, gray bottoms, and they'll line up in that spread formation. Adams takes a snap. Looks to fake the handoff, now flips out near side. Franson pulls it in. He's got first down yardage, hurdles his way over a player to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 8 yards once again, and the Cardinals complete their first pass of the second half for a gain of 8, and that first down.
Cardinals will pick up a first down and 10.
Farnes able to pull in the first down pass. 7-7 your score here. Cardinals with their first down of the second half, though, and a good way to get it as they come up with 2 good offensive maneuvers. In the shotgun again, Adams He'll take the snap, looks over to his right, blindsided by a hit. A big one delivered by Beck, the outside linebacker, as he destroyed Farnes.
The sack for the Beavers.
And Farnes comes up a little gimpy on that play after losing 6 yards on the sack. So Adams takes the hit. It brings up 2nd down and call it 16 to go from the 31-yard line. Working right to left. Cardinals need another big play here on 2nd down. Adams in the shotgun. Good snap to him. Looks over to his right. Quick pass into the slot. Diving forward after catching the ball is a good catch and run by Ridge Thompson. A gain of 12, and it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 4 on the play.
With that gain and make it 3rd and 4 for the Cards.
So a 12-yard gain. Cardinals receiving offense, really, all of a sudden, this is a completely different look to them. Back-to-back passes by the Cardinals in that formation and back-to-back receptions. 8:53 clock winds. All knotted up here at 7 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Cardinals with a 3rd down and 4. They'll get the snap and misreading the play and getting thrown down as Adams because of it. Farnes kicking himself already in the backfield as he left Adams out to dry. Adams went to think about the pitch, looked over, and it's lucky that he didn't just pitch the ball. Farnes was nowhere to be seen on the play. The far side of the field, that's the 2nd time they've gotten confused on which hole Farnes was supposed to run to. And with 8:22 to go, the clock will wind, and the Cardinals will be punting it away after the 5-yard loss on the play. So back to punt is Myers. Again, no Beavers back to receive. They're going to bring the house, and the snap goes over the head of Myers. He'll pick this one up and is going to try and run it. He gets to the edge, picks up a block, and is going to be pushed out of bounds at the 23. It goes for a loss on the play of about 15 yards. That unfortunately Myers has to pick up. But with 8:01 left, all of a sudden, great field position for the Beavers at the 24 with the official spot.
Their own 24-yard line to the Beavers.
So Soda Springs gives up terrible field position for themselves. Great for the Beavers as they'll come up to the line of scrimmage. In the shotgun, under center with the pro formation set around him is Julio, the sophomore quarterback. Sets a man in motion. They'll run to the right side. Inside goes the new running back, Tate Grover, as he cuts forward to about the 20. He dives underneath the pile for a 4-yard gain. And an interesting start there as Cervantes, after getting yelled at by his coach on the near sideline and getting taken out, he is on the bench with his helmet off, so I'm not sure what exactly the problem that happened was, but obviously something happened in that last play at the back of that half, and he is no longer in the coach's favor. Standing on the sideline is Cervantes, who had the bulk of the carries in that first quarter, and that first half, I should say. Julio goes under center once again. Pro formation, into motion, it goes another man. They'll fake the handoff to the right. Dropping back and throwing one towards the end zone is Julio. In and out of the hands and onto the ground. Christopher Lloyd almost able to pull that one in. And Adamson was right there trying to pull it over Christopher Lloyd, but great defense by Lloyd, keeping himself between his man and the ball and getting his hands in there for the swat.
Down and 6.
So now 3 for 8 passing is Boone Julio, as he'll once again line up under center. Handoff goes to the back, cutting his way up the middle. He'll sprint his way for a first down to the 6-yard line. Does Tate Grover. A gain
first down yardage on the right side
on the play of 11 yards, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 6.
Ball is 1st down and 10 for the Beavers on about the 5-yard line.
7-7, but the Beavers trying to change that and trying to take advantage of the phenomenal field position they were handed by Soda Springs and the Cardinals. Under center, once again, Julio sets his man in motion. He'll take the snap. Hands this one off once again, driving to his right and reaching for the end zone, but they're going to say down at the 1 is number 33, Russell Atkins. So Atkins with a 5-yard rush is stopped, and it'll be second down and a yard to go for Soda Springs. He reached for the end zone, a good spot for the Cardinals, but a proper spot on the side of the officials. About a foot to go between the Beavers and Pater, trying to build themselves back into the lead. As the snap goes to Julio, he'll fake the handoff, rolls out to his right. Good pursuit by the Cardinals. Good defense by the Cardinals. A diving try in the back of the end zone, but the ball drops down onto the turf. The pass was intended for, I believe, Joey Morris, number 13, and it goes as a incomplete pass, and I think everybody here a little bit shocked that American Falls did not go for it with a run, as they had the ball sitting at the foot line. 6:03 to go here, third quarter of play, third down and a foot to go once again. Score at 7-7, with American Falls trying to change that. A man goes into motion. They're going to push this one in the backfield, and taking the ball and dropping his way into the end zone is Tate Grover, as he comes into the end zone with a 1-yard run. The second touchdown of the game for the Beavers, as Grover is really the main man that they look to on that drive, getting themselves a 13-7 lead on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. It'll be Palacios to kick, as the snap is good, kick is up, and kick is good as well. It's 14-7 halfway through the third quarter of play. American Falls will be coming back the other way to kick it off to Soda Springs once again, as the Cardinals look to fix their inconsistencies on the football field and get into the end zone on the offensive side of the ball for the first time this year. We'll be back after this break on KBRV 800 The Bear, with streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of September 17th through the 23rd. We start off with Tyson Family Pack boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. Add on to that boneless beef chuck roast or London broil steaks for $3.99. If you're looking for breakfast cereals, General Mills select varieties of cereal, $2.49 each. They also have Progresso vegetable classic soups, 75 cents a can. That's all your specials over at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
Welcome back out to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. 14-7, they trail on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard after the quick touchdown drive from the 24-yard line. It took 4 plays for American Falls to punch the ball in, and they will be kicking off once again. Out there to kick is going to be Luis Cervantes, as he gets his first chance to kick the ball away. Runs up, an onside kick attempt, and it's almost recovered by American Falls. A scramble for the ball, and falling onto it is Pedro Palacios from the near side. The soccer player recruited to play football puts a dagger into the Cardinals. As the onside kick, no Cardinal was able to drop onto the football. Everyone tried to pick it up instead of just dropping on it, and by the time they did try to drop onto it, it was too late, and the ball was already squirting away. Another mismanaged play by Soda Springs gives American Falls the ball at the Soda Springs 38-yard line. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. American Falls will take the tee back to the near side as Julios comes out. One back in the backfield with him. He'll move a man into motion, as that is going to be the handoff man. Taken around to his right is Atkins. He's tripped up and taken down at the 35-yard line. They'll mark him forward to the 33. So call it a gain of 5 on the play. And the running game continues to start moving downhill if you're American Falls. And as a rolling stone gathers no moss, all that the running game rolling downhill is going to do is gather momentum, and it's going to keep them clean and possibly their jerseys clean, unless the Soda Springs Cardinals can come up with a couple of stops. 5:22 to go. Clock continues to wind over on the back end of the field. Julios puts a man into motion. A flag comes out, and I believe this is going to be a False start is the initial motion, so the Cardinals will pick up 5 yards worth of penalties.
False start on the offense will cost
On the
Beavers
offense,
5
only the
yards.
third penalty of the matchup between these two squads, as American Falls and the Beavers have played a very clean game, as have the Cardinals. Brings up a 2nd down and 10.5 to go. Call it a short 11 to go. With the ball on the far hash mark, the Beavers working from right to left, and the clock winding with 5:10 set to go. 14-7, American Falls on top. 2nd down and a long 11. 2 wide receivers split out to the far side. 2 to the near side as well, with Adamson near the formation. In the shotgun is Julio. Julio takes a snap. He'll fake the handoff. No, does give it off to the near side. Missing a tackle completely, but being backed up on the play. Ridge Thompson had the tackle in the backfield, but Christopher Lloyd was the one who came up and was actually able to wrap up Atkins in on the play, coming from the far side of the field.
Illegal shift called on the
And an
Beavers.
illegal shift is going to be called on the Beavers. We'll see what the Cardinals decide to do here, if they accept or decline. With 3rd down and 10, and it would not be the worst decision to decline, especially with some of the struggles American Falls has had on the offensive side. They've had some momentum, but
With that illegal motion play,
the illegal
is
motion play
declined by
will
the
be
Cardinals.
declined, and it goes as a loss of 1 for Atkins on the play.
Make that 3rd down and 11 for the
4:49 to
Beavers.
go on the big scoreboard as the clock winds with the whistle blowing. In the shot, or under center, is going to be Julios with that pro formation. Man goes into motion. Julios takes the snap, gives the ball off. Grover wrapped up quickly at the 38-yard line. He goes nowhere, as it is a run for no gain by Grover. And the Cardinals come up with the big stop. It's 4th and 11 coming up from the 38-yard line, and another tough decision for American Falls on the near sideline. But you'd expect for them to go for it here with the lead as well as inside Soda territory. It will be Julios who trots out onto the field, as Boone has another growing situation for himself here as the sophomore quarterback looks to continue to build his career at American Falls. Ball on the far hash mark, 4th down and 11 to go. 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go as the clock winds. I formation, 1 man goes into motion. Ball's going to be faked on the handoff. Flags fly early. An encroachment call is going to go on the defense as they point directly at the far side lineman, Caden Brown.
Offsides, Soda Springs.
Is called for the penalty. The official automatically pointing to him. It's 4th down and 5 now, after the Cardinals give the 5 yards right back. 3:49 to go, and a big 4th down play here. Soda trying to stop the drive and momentum of American
With that
Falls.
penalty, It'll make it 4th down and 6 for the Beavers.
So 4th and called officially 6 by the scoreboard, with the ball lined up at the 32.5-yard line. Call it the 34 in the middle of the field. Julio will line up in the shotgun, twins to each side. Adamson to the near side of the field. He's been the favorite target. Snap goes to Julio. He'll roll out to his left. Pressure comes. He's going to be bottled up and wrapped up for a loss of 2 on the play back at the 36-yard line. And he is taken down, and the Cardinals take over 1st and 10 coming up from the 35-yard line on their own side of the field. Good defensive stop there. They needed that one, and it is going to give them good field position to start out this drive, but they need to take advantage of it with their second touch of the second half upcoming. They've not really been able to find any consistent rhythm on the offensive side of the ball, and the offense has had some time to think things over, although many of these players play defense as well. Adams in the shotgun. Good snap. He'll hand this ball off to Farnes, who runs out to the far side, cuts back up into the middle of the field, and rolls across the 40-yard line to the 41. A good run by Farnes on the far side, picks up 7, and it'll be 2nd down and 3 upcoming. 24-yard on the play for Dylan Farnes. Clock continues to wind, 2:52 to go, 14-7 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Officially 2nd and 4 after the placement of the football. And up to the line comes Soda. Adams in the shotgun once again. Farnes behind him. Twins set out to each side. Defense in their 4-3 lineup. as Adams takes a good snap. He'll hand this one off to Farnes once again. Defense right on it, though, and he's bottled up for a loss of a yard on the play.
Farnes will try the right side this time.
As Farnes, loss of 2 puts him back to 22 yards. They'll also bring up a 3rd and 6 to go from the 39-yard line. Cardinals need their own 45 in order to keep this drive moving. Just on the outside of the logo at midfield with 2:02 to go as the clock continues to wind. Trailing by 7 and 6 yards more to go. On 3rd down, Adams in the shotgun, twins to each side, takes the snap. It's a good one. Slant receiver. He's going to almost pull that one in. Adamson got a piece of it as the right end. Adamson backed up about 3 yards and stuck out his paw to tip the ball, and that'll bring up 4th down on the incompletion. And I've been hard on the receivers somewhat tonight. That one was definitely not the receiver's fault as Adamson made a great play on the ball. Minute 48 to go here now. And the Cardinals have, again, another decision to come, and most likely, again, they will be punting as Myers will be back 10 yards from the line of scrimmage to send this ball away. And, again, nobody back for the Beavers. Beavers trying to get a good run up to this one, and the flags fly, whistles fly, and delay of game is called on Soda as they will march back another 5 yards. That's their 20th yard in penalties that they've had in this game so far. So while American Falls has only had 10 yards in penalties marked against them, Soda Springs is continually moving backwards with 4th and 11 to go here now. Although it has not been a bad continually, you still do not want to see those penalties marked up against you. Now the snap comes as Myers is going to send this one off. It is a deep kick bouncing at the 35. It takes a Soda Springs bounce and will roll forward to the 25 and into the 24-yard line where it's downed by the Cardinals. It'll be the American Falls Beavers trotting out onto the field with 76 yards of Soda Springs turf in front of them to try and move themselves into the end zone. Minute 37 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. So about 13 and a half minutes for the Cardinals to come from behind on homecoming night. The crowd stuck it out to this point in time so far on the far side bleachers. American Falls comes to the line of scrimmage. Bunch formation, but they'll split one man out to the far side. Pro set behind Julio in the shotgun, or in under center. He'll take the snap, fakes the handoff, now rolls out to his right. One man pursues him over there and trying to cut him off as he throws the ball away down the far sideline. Nobody there. The ball didn't go out of play, and they will throw the flag. He did not throw the ball out of bounds. There was not a receiver in motion or anywhere near there, and it will be intentional grounding on Julio. Or excuse me, an illegal man downfield on Julio. As a minute 30 to go, we'll see what the official call is. As the white hat comes to the center of the field, it will be an illegal man downfield. So one of the linemen snuck his way down. And it goes as a big mark off to the 5-yard penalty to the Beavers now. As it'll bring up a 1st down and 15, replay the down. And the Beavers will again come to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide out, split out to either end. I formation lined up behind Julio. Grover still the main tailback. They'll hand this one off to the fullback as it's going to be Beck, who's bottled up for a gain of maybe a yard up to the 21-yard line.
Beck on the carry on the left side.
As he gets 18 yards on the night now. And the Cardinals will defensively line up with a good long 2nd down coming. Again, I formation comes forward with the Beavers. 2 wide receivers, 1 to either side. And near the formation is Adamson as the tight end. It'll be a fake handoff, play action, pocket collapses, and Adams takes down Julio. It's a 6-yard sack. Julio taken down in the pocket, and the Cardinals defense makes it 3rd down and 20 to go for American Falls. A huge sack there by Adams. And again, the defense has always been there for the Cardinals, and they have been stepping up as Coach Scott Gambles, who has been there for a long time at Soda. He coached Cliff Garbett back when he was a player here at Soda Springs, and his defensive scheme has always been there and has always been strong and tough. Clock winding down towards the end of the third, 14 seconds to go. Julio directs his team with twins sent out to the right side. One man goes into motion. They'll roll Julio out. He's under pressure right away. Cardinals trying to bottle him up. He's going to almost escape, but gets dropped for another 6-yard loss at the 9. A flag out on the far side of the field. We'll see what this one is. It'll be 4th down and about 26 to go, depending on the flag. The official is going to say illegal shift on the Beavers. A penalty is declined. It'll bring down, as I said, 4th down and 26 on the far side of the field. Joey Morris started moving towards the line of scrimmage before he became set and before the ball was snapped. And it will end the third quarter. We head to the 4th quarter of play here at Soda Springs High School on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
12 minutes to go here at the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals. 14-7, Soda Springs trailing American Falls and the Beavers on homecoming night as they look to try and turn that score around and get back on top here at home and get their first victory of the season. Cardinals will be on the defensive end, most likely a punt upcoming with 4th down and 26 to go. Ball lined up on the far side of the 10-yard line, and the Beavers would be needing the 35 in order to get it. Back to return the punt is going to be Myers, and back to punt is Cervantes. He stands with his feet just outside the goal line. Ball in the middle of the field. Good snap. Has time, and the punt is up and short. It's going to be fielded on the fly by Myers. Runs to his right, has room. Flag comes out on the far side, so this one will be coming back. Lloyd is the one who's going to be called for the penalty, and I think they're going to call a block in the back as he came over and hit Dylan Fawcett. I didn't see the hit, but the flag is sitting at about the 35, and if it goes there, then the Cardinals will take over back at the 45-yard line. If my remembrance is correct on a block in the back. We'll see who this goes on. It could be a holding penalty on the Beavers. So that is the other possibility that this one could be. We'll see what the head official says as he makes his way out to the center of the field. 11:48 to go here, 4th quarter of play. 14-7 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. And it is an illegal block in the back. As there's also a dead ball late hit, so they're going to march it back for the block in the back. And the late hit will be marched off after that, since that came afterwards. So they'll go back 10 yards and then forward a 15 yards.
They'll march that first one direction and back the other, and then it'll be Soda Springs ball.
So Soda Springs will, I believe, take over, if this is correct, at the 30-yard line of American Falls. But again, I'm not sure where exactly they're going to march this one to. The student section for Soda Springs trying to get amped up is on the far sideline. Waving his hands is Grant Clegg trying to fire up the student section and the fans of the Cardinals. So they'll trot the ball back to the 45 and then jog it forward, yes, to the 30-yard line. So the Cardinals will still get great field position here.
So after all that,
on their third drive of the
down and
second
10
half
on the
with
Beaver
11:48 to go in the fourth quarter of play. Big opportunity here for the Cardinals to try and get back into this game. Adamson in the shotgun. He'll call out the count, takes a snap, it's a good one, rolls to the near side, has a pitch man, he's not going to pitch it though, and bowls forward, gaining maybe a yard, but they're going to mark him for a loss of 1 on the play with the quarterback keeper.
gain on the play. Grover in on the tackle.
Cardinals' running game has been almost non-existent so far in this game, especially since that first quarter. Farnes has had some good runs, but again, it has not been consistent. They've only rushed with him 6 times, and behind that, Myers has -10, and Adams has -25 yards on the ground. So -13 total rushing yards for the Cardinals, not something you like to look down and see. In fact, a total of 18 total yards in the game for the Cardinals offensively. As the snap comes, flags fly early, and another delay of game on the Cardinals will push them back 5 more yards. And it brings up a 2nd down and 15 to go from the 35-yard line. Right to left, the Cardinals will be moving. They'll come up in that spread formation. Near side hash mark as Adams will take the snap. Good snap, fields it with one hand, floats one out, and it's Farnes who can't hold on to the over-the-shoulder pass again in his hands, and he could not pull it in with green grass in front of him for at least a 10-yard gain and a one-on-one matchup out there after he'd gotten past that. Another missed opportunity by the Cardinals receivers, as that has been the story of this game. 3 for 16 passing on Adams, but he has had at least 8 dropped passes in this game, and not drops that are defended all that well, but drops that have hit them in the hands and the numbers. 10:40 to go, 3rd and 15 for the Cardinals. Adams again in that pistols formation. He stands at his own 40-yard line, or at the 40-yard line of American Falls. He'll take the snap. It's going to be the QB draw, rushes his way up the middle, gains a good 4 yards between being bulldozed to the ground by 5 Beavers.
Adamson on the stop. Cervantes.
And it's a 4-yard gain for Adams.
Not a whole lot of running room there. 4th down and 12.
And it'll be 4th down and call it 12 to go for Soda Springs with the clock winding down from 10:16 to go. Cardinals, a tough decision here once again with the ball at the 32-yard line. And they will go for it as Adams remains in his quarterback position. He stands at the 37 in the pistol. Behind him is Farnes. He'll take the snap. Good protection once again. Ball lined out to the far side, and the receiver not even looking back for the ball, as I believe that was Andrew Stewart, who was looking deep, and behind him, if he had come back to the ball, he would have been there and been able to pull it in for a 1st down, as it was to the 20-yard line. And instead, American Falls will take over at the 32-yard line on another incomplete pass by Soda Springs. 3 for 17 now is Adams for 31 yards. 9:51 to go here. Clock stops as American Falls takes over at their own 32. Another drive into American Falls territory stalls for Soda Springs. And for American Falls, you look to run some clock here with that 7-point lead. Julio's going to do just that. Hands the ball off to Grover. He's bottled up and is pushed back at the 34-yard line. They'll give him forward progress to the 35. So a 3-yard gain. And Grover picks up his 18th yard of the night. Clock will wind to under 9.5 minutes to go here, as the Beavers again will take their sweet time on the offensive side of the field. Julio trots out, gives the play to his team inside the huddle, and they will now trot forward. Looking to get some revenge for last year's loss to Soda Springs in a 7-6 affair. Right now, another defensive battle. Into motion goes a man. It's Julio handing the ball off. Grover slips a tackle. Flag comes out on the play. This one's coming back for another holding penalty, and it will be a negation of a 5-yard run. And so back will go American Falls to the 25-yard line. And on the near side, Tony Cade not happy with the call. And it will, as I said, march the Beavers back to the 25-yard line. That's the first major penalty that they've taken on the offensive end. 9:02 to go. Clock stopped as they place the ball. But again, the Beavers at this point can afford things like this. They have the lead. They have that touchdown advantage on Soda Springs. And the clock winds to under 9 minutes to go. Under center is going to be Julio. Pro-style formation with the power to the near sideline. They'll hand off to Grover once again. Picks his way through the Cardinals for a gain of 4 to the 29.
This time Tanner Myers in on the stop, tripping him up.
As Tanner Myers, the one who tricks him up in the backfield. Grover impressing me with quick feet right now as he's been able to make something out of nothing several times for the American Falls Beavers, but it brings up a 3rd down and 12 to go from the 30-yard line. Crowd trying to get amped up and into this one. And under center, once again, will go Julio. 3rd and 12. Look for a pass here. Man goes into motion, left to right. They'll hand this ball off. Cervantes with the ball. Breaks through a shoulder tackle and is going to have the 1st down, and Moore refusing to drop as he's rolled to the 47-yard line of Soda Springs. It goes for a 22-yard rumble for Cervantes on the gain. He's got 44 yards on the night, and the Beavers put a dagger into the Cardinals' hopes as they get a 1st down to keep the clock moving, keep the chains moving, and move it into Cardinal territory. Huge play for American Falls there as they turned a 3rd and 12 into a 1st and 10. 7:48, clock winds. Man goes into motion once again, far side hash mark, handoff to Cervantes one more time. He drills his way forward after being wrapped up at the ankles by Adams for a 3-yard gain. 3 yards up to the 46-yard line. And the clock will continue to run. Cardinals down by 7, 14-7 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Defense needing some push and to get some momentum back to Soda here as they'll line up in the trenches at the line of scrimmage. Another man goes into motion. Same play to the far side. Cervantes slips through the hole. Ball squirts out. The official comes in quickly. They're going to say Cervantes was down, I believe. Although Soda Springs looks to come up with the football. And it will be 3rd down and 7 to go after the 1-yard pickup.
Be about 3rd down and 6 with that gain on that play.
6:43 to go. Clock continuing to wind down, and precious seconds for Soda Springs marking their way off the board. Big 3rd down stop here is necessary for Soda. You can't give up this 1st down. Defense comes lined up, filling the box with 7 men there. They're going to hand the ball. No, faking the handoff, and Julio goes down. Devin Adams puts the team on his back and wraps up Julio for a 7-yard sack to the 48-yard line of American Falls. Julio looked up, and Adams wasn't fooled at all on the play. Make it a 4th down and 12 to go from the 48, and the Cardinals will be receiving a punt. As I said, a huge stop. American Falls trots back out. Julio is out there, and it looks like they might be going for it. A 1st down here gives them a dagger of a play, and they will come out in that punt formation. So Cervantes back to kick. They'll set a man in motion. It's a fake punt. Cardinals are going to wrap it up, though, stopping it in the backfield. Adams again stomping his way back into the logo as it's a 5-yard loss. And Adams comes up with a huge play there on the fake punt, and an interesting play called there by American Falls. You had the Cardinals in a position where you could pin them deep. A penalty flag comes out against American Falls. and that will be declined. So Soda Springs with a 4th down and 13 ends up coming with a stop on the fake punt, and they take over at the 43-yard line. 5.5 minutes to go here. Cardinals with their best opportunity to score in the 4th quarter as they need to find a way to march this ball into Beavers territory. Adams in that pistol, standing at the 47-yard line of Soda Springs. As they will take the snap, he'll hand this one off up the gut, and it's a run straight up the middle by
ball carrier. Cervantes quickly on that tackle. Corbin Boyer also assisting. Gain of about 3, 2nd and 7.
So Cardinals with a 2nd down and 7 to go, as they will line up. Apologize for those watching online at mylocalradio.com. We'll try and get our video fixed as soon as the next break comes forward. Pass goes out to the far side wing. Cardinals have a hole. Myers up the field and drug out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
Pass completed on the far side. Will pick up big yardage for the Cardinals and 1st down yardage, in fact. Cervantes in on the tackle.
So there we go. We're good. Apologize again for the technical difficulties. Cardinals come up with a 25-yard pass and catch as Adams takes the snap, rolls over to his right. The pocket collapses around him, and at the 11-yard line, he's taken down for a no gain on the play. And with 4:40, the Cardinals will continue to move this one forward.
Atkins in on the tackle for the Beavers.
So the
No gain on
play
the
will
2nd and
remain
10.
at 2nd down and 10 yards to go. And the Cardinals will come back up in that pistol formation. 2nd down and 10. Adams takes a snap, looks to the end zone. Ball swatted up into the air. It drops down incomplete. And it'll be a 3rd down and 10 upcoming for Soda Springs.
Adams in on the knocking down of that pass for the Beavers. 3rd down and 10.
As they will trot back to the huddle with another big play looming. They're 11 yards from pay dirt on the far side of the field. 3rd down, 10 to go. Adams takes the snap. It's a good one. Good time. Pocket collapses around him, though. Flags come out in the backfield as Adams scrambles over to the right side and is thrown out of bounds at the 5-yard line. I think this play is coming back, though, as a flag out in the Soda Springs backfield. It will be holding, and we'll see what American Falls decides to do there, and you would think that they would move them back with the 10-yard penalty, hurting the Cardinals more than the 5-yard gain would help them. As they will trot to the 25-yard line. It'll make it 3rd down and 24 to go after the 14-yard penalty. Another big penalty there, and it's 3:50 to go on the clock. Cardinals need to just try and get some yardage back here to give themselves a better shot at going to the end zone. As with short time left in this game, you have to come up with points when you can. Twins out to either side. Adams with the ball, throws it down the middle of the field, diving on a reach for the ball on the far side, and coming up just short is Myers. Flag comes out late by the official at the 10-yard line, and we'll wonder what this is. It came out very late, so you think it's after the play, and it could be taunting on American Falls. As the only thing I can assume that would come that far after the play. I did not see a late hit. It is a dead ball foul, and it is taunting, except it's on Soda Springs. So unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Cardinals, marches them back now to the 40-yard line, and it brings up 4th and 39 to go, as another 15 yards is pulled off against Soda Springs. 3:37 to go. And the Cardinals again come to the line of scrimmage. 4th down, 38 to go. Adams in the shotgun, needs to find the end zone on this play. Good snap. He's got time. Rush comes. He rolls out to the near side. He's going to tuck this one down himself and get what he can. Rolls forward up to the 25 where he's taken down after a 14-yard scramble. Adams did what he could, but unable to come up with enough for the first down, and it gives American Falls the ball back at their own 25. Call it the 26 with the official spot. The ball will be marked at the near side hash mark. 3:27 to go. American Falls just about 3.5 minutes away from avenging their loss to the Soda Springs Cardinals team last year, as they will come up to the line of scrimmage. Julio under center with the I formation behind him. Good snap to him. He'll hand this ball off to Grover. Cuts through the hole right up the middle and then loses his footing at the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 6 yards, though, on the play. The first down play does just what the American Falls Beavers needed it to do, as it keeps them in motion and keeps the play clock moving down the field. So they will come back up to the scrimmage. Grover now with 28 yards on the night. It's been a very balanced attack for American Falls this year, and head coach Tony Cade. Snap again to Julio. He hands this off to Grover. He's got the first down, tripped up at the 40-yard line and falls forward to the 44. It goes as a gain on the play of 10 yards.
On the stop for the Cardinals.
And a timeout is going to be called, I believe. No, the clock will start up with 2:37 to go. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Soda Springs does have timeouts to use right now, and you'd think that on this set of downs they will start using them with the clock continuing to march down at 2:25. Julio under center, takes his time. He'll take the snap, hands the ball off, and being stopped is Beck for no gain, maybe call it a yard, as Beck pulls forward for a 2nd down and 9 upcoming from the 44-yard line, and Soda will begin taking their timeouts. The defense will trot to the far side. We'll take a quick timeout as well on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
They need your help. They're overstocked with Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They'll wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliance. If you will help them make room in their showroom, they'll help you keep money in your bank account while you're enjoying high-quality, comfortable Lazy Boy and Catnapper recliners, sofas, and love seats. They need your help, and you need to save money. Wheel and deal right now at Sanders Furniture, Flooring, and Appliances on Main Street in Soda Springs.
Caleb Berggraf here on KBRV 800 The Bear. The Soda Springs Cardinals trailing 14-7 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard with 2:03 to go, and down by a touchdown with the ball in possession of American Falls. 2nd down and 9 upcoming. American Falls trots out onto the field with their same starters that they've had all game, except for one man, who is Tate Grover, who has come in and put big yards down underneath them. 7 carries for 38 yards tonight in replacing and spelling Luis Cervantes. He'll be in the backfield again, and the Cardinals jump off sides after the hard count. Julio applauds his hands together as he is able to pull the Cardinals back to his side of the field, and with 2:03 to go, it makes what was a good position for the Cardinals a better position for American Falls. 2nd down and 4 compared to 2nd down and 9. This Soda Springs defense is showing that they are going to be attacking the quarterback, but you have to show the patience and the desire to do it when the ball is snapped, not before. Watch the ball, not the count. As the snap goes again to Julio, he'll pitch this ball up ahead, and Grover dives forward to the Soda Springs 45-yard line. That's a 1st down. And that is, again, another dagger, as the clock will begin to start with 1:50 to go on the big scoreboard. 14-7, Cardinals continue to trail here on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Thanks again for joining us. Stick around for the post-game show. We'll have updates from both Grace and North Gem, not scores from their games. We'll talk about what they knew they were going to have to do going into their games this week as the Cardinals again line up on the defensive front. Minute 29 to go. Julio takes the snap. Flag comes out, and it'll be delay a game against American Falls, trying to milk the clock down, and Julio ends up taking just a bit too long on the penalty. And a minute 27 to go. The ball will be marched back 5 more yards. So Soda Springs gets a little bit of a reprieve, but you know it's just going to be more running attack coming from American Falls. The Beavers have done a good job, and again, this sophomore defense, our offensive and defensive line, has been exceptionally good as Grover gets the handoff, breaks through, shoves off a tackle from Stewart, hurdles over another Cardinal, breaks free into the secondary, spins out of a third tackle before being wrapped up and taken down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 18 yards on the play. The Cardinals give up another first down, and it's 61 yards on 9 carries for Tate Grover, and I think the Cardinals are just wondering where this guy came from because he was not there early on. Myers a little bit hobbled on the play on the far side of the field as he will pop up and go to the sideline. Replacing him on the field is going to be number 40, I believe, Christian Winfield. Minute and 5 to go. Clock continues to wind. Power formation. The ball is going to be handed off once again to the near side, taking the ball and being pulled down after a gain of 5 yards. The little used back tonight, Russell Atkins, as he gains 23 yards, continues the ball to be moved downfield. 42.7 yards to go, seconds to go here in the game, and it'll be second down and call it a long 4 or a short 4. Clock begins. One more play, and this one should be over unless Soda Springs takes a timeout to keep the matchup going. That pro formation again. Beck, the fullback, they'll hand this one off into the hands of Cervantes. Pulls his way forward to the 15-yard line, and it is a first down for American Falls after the 7-yard carry for Cervantes. He's got 11 rushes for 55 yards on the night by my unofficial statistics. 20 seconds as the clock continues to wind. One more to go. Victory formation for American Falls as they're going to come away with a hard-fought defensive victory. The knee taken by Julio, and American Falls goes to 2-2 on the year. Soda Springs, despite a well-fought game, ends up coming up just shy in this matchup. Final score again, 14-7 on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. We'll come back with our post-game show coming up on the other side of the break, including updates from Grace and North Gem, as well as a look at their final stats in this one and a recap of how this game took place. That's coming up on KBRV 800 The Bear with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Here's a look at your Lalaton's food specials for the week of September 17th through the 23rd. We start off with Tyson Family Pack boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.99 a pound. Add on to that boneless beef chuck roast or London broil steaks for $3.99. If you're looking for breakfast cereals, General Mills select varieties of cereal, $2.49 each. They also have Progresso vegetable classic soups, 75 cents a can. That's all your specials over at Lalaton's in Soda Springs.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Welcome back out once again to the home of the Soda Springs Cardinals as the Cardinals go down in this one 14-7 to American Falls and the Beavers. A struggle for the Cardinals in this matchup on the offensive end of the football. We'll have the numbers coming up for you later on, but right now we're going to go into our updates as the Grace Grizzlies start off our update show here as they were on the road tonight taking on they were at Chalice this evening in their first conference match of the year. I sat down with Brandon Sanchez earlier this week to talk to him about what they needed to do against Chalice and how exactly they could come up with a good game this week against their conference rivals.
Caleb Burgraff here with Coach Brandon Sanchez from the Grace football team. And, Coach, another good week for you guys. Back-to-back wins now for you as a coach. And this time you get a little bit of revenge for going to Horseshoe Bend last year, a 69-6 throttling of Horseshoe Bend. What were some of the things that you saw in that game that you're really proud of your guys for?
You know, we stepped up and played and did some things that we actually worked on throughout the week. And so I was real happy with the way the guys came out right from the beginning and just started smacking them around. We watched film. We've got a lot of great blocks, our kids sustaining their blocks, which is something we worked on all week. Coming back and making some crack type of blocks on guys to free them and stuff like that. And so, we worked on a few things that way. And, it worked out for us, and so we put a few points on the board.
Always good when you get one of those, especially when you're going into your first conference game of the year. What's the feeling in the locker room for the team right now? I mean, are they overconfident? Is that something you're afraid of, them getting now that they have this winning streak?
That's always something you're afraid of. Sometimes you tend to overlook teams. I think we did that in our first game against North Gem. But the feeling is good right now. We're healthy for the most part. We just got our quarterback back. Mentally that made a huge difference for our team. You can just tell just by the way they reacted. And just talking to the guys after the game and everything, they're just mentioning how fun it was, that funness of a game type of thing. Football's a game. They should be having fun. It's kind of back with them, and so they're enjoying it. So I really hope that we don't overlook Chalice. Chalice is 0-2, but it's a conference game, and we have a Chalice mental block for whatever reason where, Chalice has just throttled us time and time again, and so we've just got to get over that and go up there and take care of business. So,
is it better to have that first game against them on the road, or is it better to have that at home, in your opinion, when you have to play a team twice in a year?
I would prefer to have it at home just because of all the things that come with playing at home. The kids are more comfortable. They don't have to travel. And so if you can get that first win like that, then, when you do have to go travel, it doesn't seem to be, the kids already have confidence that they can beat this team. And so I would personally rather have it at home, but no big deal. We'll travel up to Chalice and do what we need to do.
Caleb Burgraff with Coach Brandon Sanchez. And, Coach, looking forward to the rest of the season now. You guys had a good hot start last year. You got off to a quick start, and then you saw things kind of crumble once conference play began and started to have things deteriorate. What are things that you want to do this year now that you're the head coach to really avoid that happening, or at least put a couple of steps in place to keep it from being such a major collapse?
I think we just focus on, every single game just one at a time. We don't look ahead at anything. Even though I've got game film on a lot of our opponents coming up, I don't even want to look at it. I just want to make sure our kids focus on Chalice that we got coming up, and then just every team after that. It's tough. It's scary because of that fact that we did start off last year well. Actually, we should have went 3-0 right from the beginning. We lost to Horseshoe Bend. put a lot of points on the board, but they were able to get us. And so it's a little scary, knowing that conference play starts and sometimes teams tend to crumble a little bit. But I think if we stay focused, we watch a lot of film. I got the guys on a program, Huddle is what it's called, and they get on there and watch game film. And so that helps us out a lot because they can do it on their own. And then we just get into practice and we just have good, solid, hard practices. And I think you can see what happens on Friday night.
Final question for you, Coach, and that's who on Challis, now that you play them all the time, you've been able to see this team, who on Challis is the player you're most concerned about, and what makes him dangerous?
I don't know his name for sure. His number 20 is his number. It's like Cardigan or something like that. He is their speed, so to speak, for Challis. He's their go-to guy. They line him up on the end like a tight end type of player, but they like to do this little reverse that comes around, and they like to throw the ball to him. And so that's one guy that we're definitely going to focus on. We're going to make sure that he has problems getting off the line at every snap. So that's kind of a guy we're focused on. They've got a pretty good fullback in number 44. He's pretty tough. He's also a linebacker for him. So those two players we're gonna really concentrate on. We had a couple players in Horseshoe Bend that we did the exact same thing, and we were able to shut them down. So,
Coach, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations to the 2-1 start now to the season, and hopefully, you can continue that now into conference plays getting ready to get underway.
Great, thank you.
That was head coach Brandon Sanchez of the Grace Grizzlies as they again look to try and move to 3-1 on the year tonight. We'll have an update on how that game went for them on Monday morning on KBRV 800 The Bear. Right now it's time to move a little bit further to the west from them to Bancroft, as Bancroft and the North Gem Cowboys were coming off of a second win on the year for them as they took down Richfield. They had a JV-only game this week, and we were able to sit down with the star of last week's game against Richfield, Tyler Perkins, as he talked about how the team is doing this year.
Caleb Burgraff here with Tyler Perkins from the North Gem football team. And Tyler, on Friday, you guys had a really good game as a team. You yourself had a really good game, 4 touchdowns, almost 200 total yards in the game as well. What were your thoughts on how you were able to perform in that game, and what were your thoughts on the team overall?
I feel like the line had a lot to do with it. They had good blocks, and just the line did have a lot to do with all the yards that I made on Friday.
You guys played a Richfield team that, they weren't necessarily a big team as far as the amount of kids that they were able to put out on the field. As far as the way that they played and the intensity they played with, it was a very physical game for about 2.5 quarters. What do those type of games do for you guys as a team?
I feel like those types of games we just need to condition more during the week, and those kids were tough, but we had a better mindset than them. They made more mistakes, and we just capitalized on all their mistakes that they made.
What are you guys looking forward to this week now? I mean, in practices, what are you looking for from your teammates, and what are you looking for from yourself to continue growing in practice this week?
I feel like our team just needs to work hard every single day in practice and always push each other.
What's the weakest point on the team so far this year? There's a lot of strengths, obviously. The line, as you said, is a very strong line. You have some good running games as well. But where are the weak points on this year's team?
I feel like our kick return and our kickoff need to work on those quite a bit more, but our defense and offense are really strong.
Is that something that you guys feel can carry you all the way through, even with the weaknesses that you have on special teams right now?
Yeah, our offense and defense are doing really well, and we just need to continue to push ourselves every day in practice.
Caleb Burgraff here with Tyler Perkins from the North Gem football team, and you guys have a new football coach this year. What's Dana Strong meant to this team so far?
I feel like he's been a really good coach, and I'm really happy that he decided to come to North Gem, so I really like him a lot.
What was the transition like so far this year between the last coaching system that you guys had and this year's coaching system?
Coach Strong pushes us more than our previous coach, and I feel like he has better plays and better game schemes and stuff like that.
You guys have a JV-only game this week, which means you and the other seniors are getting a little bit of a week to rest up and not necessarily going to have as much asked of you once it comes to the game day. What do these type of weeks do for you during the season in order to keep you guys does it keep you guys fresher going through the games?
Yeah, it gives us a little bit of a break, more time for our bodies to recover from practice in the game before, so it'll be nice for a little bit of a break, but I want to get back into the game as soon as possible.
1A Division II is not necessarily the toughest. There's a lot of distance between the worst team and the best teams in it. How do you guys, whenever you aren't going against teams like Cary, keep yourselves mentally prepared and keep yourselves in the games when you have to go against teams that might not necessarily bring you as much of a challenge?
You always got to play as hard as you can, no matter how good the team is. If they're good or bad, you always got to play as hard as you can.
final thing for you, and that's looking at your senior year. It's your last chance to do something. Last year you lost to the defending state, or the team that went on to win the state championship in the playoffs. What is your goal for this year as a team, and what would you look for it as a success?
Make it farther than we did last year. That would be really nice. Maybe bring another state championship, because we haven't had one since '96. So that'd be nice. Win our conference. That'd be good too.
Tyler, thank you again for taking the time. Congratulations again on the big game last Friday, and hopefully you guys can continue it throughout the year.
Thank you.
That was senior running back Tyler Perkins from the North Gem Cowboys. Again, they are taking on Snake River, I believe, the JV tonight in another home matchup for them up there. A JV-only match for the Cowboys of North Gem. We'll take a break, come back with our final post-game wrap-up for how the Cardinals did here tonight, and our final thoughts on tonight's contest, a 14-7 loss for the Soda Springs Cardinals on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard to American Falls and the Beavers. That coming up with final numbers and stats in tonight's contest for these two squads on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.
Cattlemen have a code of ethics. Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Ride for the brand. Talk less and say more. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. The folks at Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho are proud of the students at Grace High School, investing in the leaders of tomorrow. The Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
The rocket launched into the air
and then crashed into the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Even in the summer months, natural gas is worth asking for. Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs will replace your furnace that caused you problems this winter with a new natural gas furnace, or even install a natural gas water heater to keep your water hot. Plus, Reed's can add a water softener to your home. And if you want to cool things down, Reed's Plumbing and Heating will install an energy-efficient Lennox air conditioner. All at Reed's Plumbing and Heating, 180 South 3rd Street, Soda Springs.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Final wrap-up coming up here on KBRV 800 The Bear. Thanks again for sticking around with us through the post-game show, as final numbers for the Soda Springs Cardinals look like this in their 14-7 loss to American Falls on your Gate City Real Estate scoreboard. Looking through it, they had 5 total rushing yards in the game, as it was a back-and-forth affair over the middle of the line of scrimmage. Their best rushing yards came from Farnes, as Farnes was able to rush 6 times for 22 yards. Myers ran 3 times for 10 yards, and 16 carries for Devin Adams for -7 yards, although he was probably the one most hurt by problems with the offensive line that let blockers straight through to him or defenders straight through to him, and a couple of bad snaps, or else he would have had a very solid game running the football. Passing-wise, the Cardinals 4 for 19 through the air for 56 yards, and they ended up with just a lot of drop passes. You had to have counted at least 8 of those drop passes, and if you give them those completions, then all of a sudden we're talking about a different game and maybe not that 14-7 loss that they suffered. 59 penalty yards for the Cardinals as well in this matchup, as they almost negated all the yards that they were able to gain on the ground. They started over in American Falls territory 6 times tonight, including once at the 30-yard line, twice at the 31, at the 33, the 35, and 47 as well. Scoring-wise, they were able to score in that second quarter, a fumble recovery in the end zone by Caden Brown, and Devin Adams was able to get the PAT there, but that was too little too late, as that tied the game up at 7, but they weren't able to come back from a third quarter touchdown. On the American Falls side of things for this one, they ended up with 149 rushing yards, led in the game by Grover, who had 61 on the game, 55 yards for Luis Cervantes, 19 yards in the game for Beck, and 23 yards in the game as well for number 33, whose name I apologize, I am blanking on at this point in time. 19 yards in the negative came from their quarterback in Boone Julio. On the passing side of things, Julio went 3 for 9, did throw an interception. Chris Lloyd came down with that pick, 58 passing yards, including 2 to his tight end Adamson, who pulled down 57 yards on the night, 1 reception to another receiver for a single yard. 40 penalty yards in the game for American Falls. Their touchdowns came in the first quarter on a Cervantes 2-yard run that capped off a 4-play scoring drive, driving down the field on those 2 big passing plays. And another 4-play scoring drive was the Grover 1-yard touchdown run after the Cardinals gave up the ball inside the 23-yard line to American Falls on a 24-yard run. So it was a tough game for the Cardinals, but things you can grow on. Again, the defense played very strong against a very tough team in American Falls. They'll hope that the Cardinals can come back and continue to have that success in their games so far on this season. We'll be back on air tomorrow night as the Grace Grizzlies go to the volleyball court, and they will be traveling to Hanson. We will be in Hanson covering that matchup for you guys and bringing you every play between the Grizzlies and the Huskies, as the Grizzlies look to continue what has been a solid volleyball year for them to this point in time. As for the football team for Soda Springs, they will be back in action next week, as they will be on the road, traveling to Westside for a battle with the defending state champion Pirates. A big matchup for the Cardinals there to try and again prove that they can stick with some of the bigger teams in the District 5 area. Thanks again for listening into the Cardinal Postgame Show. The proceeding has been a sports production and sports broadcast of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Tonight's executive producer is Val Cook. I would also like to thank our sales team as well as office manager Kim Miller and general manager Warren Cook. Thanks to all of our sponsors as well as you for tuning in. Our final score again tonight on the Gate City Real Estate scoreboard: American Falls and the Beavers take down Soda Springs and the Cardinals 14-7. For tonight's videographer Ben Jacobson, I'm Caleb Berggraf saying tune in tomorrow when Grace takes on the Hanson Huskies in volleyball action tomorrow afternoon at 1:45 on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming online at mylocalradio.com.